let's go. If you just let go.
No, I'm always ready, man.
It's about that time,
Reverb experiment episode number
32.
32. Man, these getting up
That's
there.
the Magic Johnson. But the baby wouldn't even like him because of.
Uh-oh. We already started.
You see how I did that? Come on, give it up.
All right, so before we get into the show and get in trouble, let me introduce myself. G_Focus is on the mic.
Focus.
Having a good week. We got Steph.net to my left. She's back from vacation.
Back in the building.
Back in
with
this
Usher
bitch.
Bucks.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
With the Usher Bucks.
Bruh, she brought Usher Bucks. Niggas paid for Usher.
Hey, I saw some video. It was lit.
Wasn't it though?
It was lit.
With COVID.
Hey, look.
He walked her out the gate.
No, we went to this pool party, and I literally was looking around like,
Nigga, you look like you got COVID.
it's probably COVID in this water.
The whole pool got COVID.
Extra
Hey,
chlorine.
you think you're right. You think chlorine kills COVID?
Ooh.
Chlorine
Well,
might kill it.
according to Trump, didn't he say bleach and
bleach.
chlorine or whatever? The little cocktail he said to drink?
What he said was put it right in the blood.
You saying can we inject that?
I guess
Spray that
so.
out?
Yeah.
All right, so
That
to
was a
her
crazy
left, we got Rajeo the King,
Rajeo.
and off camera,
But on a different camera.
but on a different camera,
That's true.
we got
Off camera on a different
Photo
camera.
B in the
What's-
building.
What's popping,
Hey,
everybody?
first off, this nigga's got a mono cam. It's only on this nigga.
He got a special camera.
For real.
I mean,
Hey,
his
look,
name is
hey,
Photo B.
He wore those socks
Hey.
to him, fire ass socks.
Hey, I can't put them on camera because I don't want. I can't. I'm not that flexible.
You know
to
what I
lift up my
did?
leg right now.
I wore rainbow socks today.
Almost
All right.
rainbow. I saw they only had like 3 colors.
I don't know.
How many colors on there?
And to help us with today's episode, we have a special guest that
6.
we are going to introduce in a second. First, we want to just thank all of our listeners, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Thank you. If you can help us out on the YouTube algorithm by liking, commenting, and subscribing to the page. For those that are listening via Apple Podcasts, which is the majority of you, if you can follow the podcast and just leave a 5-star rating and leave a comment how you like the podcast. Or if you don't, get on the Reverb Nation Facebook page or Instagram and let us know what we can improve on. Before we get into the show, I definitely want to introduce the guest that we have today. He is a hip hop pioneer, man. I was doing my research on him, and I was highly impressed.
One of the finest, bro.
And you know, I don't give out compliments too often. So we're gonna go ahead and introduce this gentleman, man. Northern hip hop pioneer and host of the Top Shelf Radio Show. He has performed at over 500 live events.
Facts.
And is certified on Spotify with over 20,000 plus monthly listeners. I'm sure it's gone up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we would love to introduce Henny Holyfield.
It's my God.
Yo, what's popping?
Appreciate y'all having me.
Henny Holyfield, he gave me the jump start for that album. It was the first stop I made. And
Oh yeah, I was
I
listening
think
to
I
that
did
interview.
it.
It was a dope interview.
I think I did 100,000 like right after that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well deserved.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh,
bro.
definitely.
That's love.
Yeah.
So man, thank you for coming to the pod, man. We appreciate you showing up, man, and that's kind of why we did the show, was giving the spotlight to people that, you know, obviously you have your own platform, but it's nice to, you know, give people their flowers while they're still here.
Nice
So
to
we
be on
see
the
that-
flip side of the
microphone?
microphone, yeah.
Right.
That's
So
true, huh?
yeah, well, and it's dope. Usually you don't see artists that give love to other artists. You know what I mean?
Bro, that's the
Usually
biggest
it's they'll give the love by doing features and stuff, but you have a platform where you have other artists come on, which I think is dope.
Well, that's what we were talking about with RI the last episode is that sometimes, man, the biggest way to get love is to give love. You know what I mean? And so the reciprocation for how people receive him, I like we feel if you beefing with this guy, bro, you gotta go check yourself. It's crazy, bro.
I mean,
'cause
it
shows-
happens.
It's like, don't get it twisted.
You know,
No, I'm not
but
saying, but I'm just saying, like, for the amount of people that I know personally that he's given platform to and premise, including myself, you know
Right.
what I mean? I've been on their Top Shelf as legend with Fame, and then I came on there as Rajeo by myself. So I did my group project, stopped through there, and just, I mean, it's just nice, bro, to have somebody who actually has an audience and a platform who's selfless. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of people like that, bro.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Definitely.
We're gonna give another round of applause for that.
Appreciate that.
Give him another round of applause for that, man. Showing love, man, to the Sacramento rappers and MCs in Northern California. I mean, that's much needed. We need more
Definitely.
black-owned platforms, man. To
They ain't playing us on
advance
102 or
the
103.
But that's part of the
Man,
reason I got into it in the first place, though, because we don't have a platform like that. So as an artist, I want a platform like that, so why not provide it?
Period.
If they don't make it, I'll make it.
Right.
You feel me?
Facts.
They build it and
That's
they
how it
will
should be.
come.
If they don't invite me to the table, I'll make my own table.
Right.
There you go. Speaking of artists and platforms, before we get into the interview, I just want to ask just a quick question. You know what I'm saying? Because we were all anticipating Kanye to drop last week.
All of us?
Not all of us. Not all of us. Most we were I think as a culture we were waiting to see what Kanye was going to do. Then he pulled the rug.
Yeah.
Right? He had a little cryptic tweet saying there was a bee in the studio. He obviously was talking about Miss Beyonce, right?
That could have been a whole nother album.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You already charge people to come to a listening party.
Yeah.
You put them in a stadium. You
Yeah.
charge them a shitload of money to get in. And then you say, hey, by the way, thank you for the money, but now I'm going to change the album.
Ain't gonna change the album.
But they got it, though.
And it leaked.
Yeah, they got at least they got what they came for.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, if we all have our feelings about Kanye, but if you're really thinking about it, that's kind of genius.
It's ingenious.
to
for
have
sure.
people pay to watch you listening to your album.
I'm going to do that on the best Weekend part, too.
If you could get away with that, you would.
Yeah,
Hey, I am.
everybody would. That's what I'm saying.
Hell
I
yeah.
am.
Come
Yeah.
on, man.
I think
Run that.
I think
Right.
I think what we should do is we should get some features on the next project and then just do the same thing.
Come on.
Because if we do that, we could throw a big ass party.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
I'll get a vending stand and I'll charge $60 for a hot dog. And
I'm gonna set up my little photo booth.
he's Kanye.
Yeah, I'm gonna set up my photo booth.
there you go.
Hey,
And
Hey.
charge $100 for 3 pictures.
Come on now.
There you go. So I just
No
want
digitals, all prints.
Nipsey said if you don't charge them what you believe you're worth, they're never going to pay.
Straight like
That's
Never gonna
facts.
pay.
That-
You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and charge $100 for 3 photos, $60 for hot dogs, and to come see me and Henny with our features, it's $1,000.
Yeah.
know
Shit.
your worth, King.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, they
Know
paying
your worth.
$400
Need
for
it.
5, so
This is why they be talking about him.
Yeah.
That's why he had to
That's
make
why
that
he
TikTok.
that's why he had to post a
I had
TikTok.
to post a TikTok. Hey,
And
look.
if you guys haven't seen Photo Beats TikTok, man, you know what I'm saying? It's
Go check it out.
It's
Yeah.
going up.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go around the room. I wanted to ask y'all, are y'all gonna listen to the album?
I'll go first. No.
Okay. Raj.
Time out, bro. She wanted to go first so bad, just so we can hear how.
Well, you know, and why? Why you're not gonna listen to the album?
I haven't listened to Kanye in a long time, and I don't foresee me listening
she
to
stopped after
anything
college
else.
dropout.
I mean, well,
Oh,
808.
808 Heartbreaks.
nah.
Dark Twisted
No,
Fantasy.
808s. Yeah, 808s.
808 Heartbreaks, yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool.
I think that's when most people kind of hopped off the Kanye bandwagon.
And then all the stuff that he recently, I'm cool. I mean, I support him, and I hope he get his mental health together because I'm all about mental health. But
Facts.
I'm not listening to the album.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm not here for clownery.
That's a fair answer.
Buffoonery.
That's a
I
fair
don't
answer.
do buffoonery.
I'm here for all the buffoonery. I'm here for all the clownery. We just talked about how you guys are lyrical experts. All I need is a yeah. I just need that and a hard ass beat and some shit I can do this too.
I'm
You know what I'm
turning it up.
saying? And then I always listen to Kanye because despite everything that he goes through, he's always pretty innovative in what he's trying to do. So I always, as a producer and as an artist myself, I always like to try to, just listen to Kanye, even though some of this shit is ridiculous, like the whoop-diddy scoop, poop, toopity doop.
I was just thinking about
You know what I'm
that.
saying? Like,
I was just thinking about
I
that.
feel like it's lightweight offensive to charge people for that shit. But I just know, like for myself, I'll give it the skim through at least. You know what I'm saying? And if it slaps, he might have an ultralight beam on there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
might
sure
have
he
a-
will.
Yeah, you might find something that I like, but
Yeah.
for the most part, Kanye is like the mixed bag of life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
He's very complex. Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
he
There's
is.
not a Xanax for him. He can't fix him. He's out there, bro.
Henny?
Yeah, I'm going to listen.
You know what's funny?
forced that
You know
nigga
what's
to
funny
listen
is
to
I
him.
saw him shaking his head. I'm like, damn, he's definitely saying no.
Nah, I'm going to listen just because I'm curious. I got a cousin who puts him at the top of his list. I can't see it, but I fell off
As an
808s
artist or
and
as a
har-
producer?
Period.
Both. Okay.
Yeah.
As
You don't like him as a
creator.
producer either?
As a creator.
He's dope. You know what I'm saying? You just
You
know,
really don't hear a lot of
it's lot-
Kanye
it's a lot
tracks.
of fuck shit going on. In
It is, bro.
yeah.
There's a beat in the studio.
Yeah.
But, you really don't hear a lot of Kanye production anymore. And I think, to me, to validate your point for not listening to him, man, when you got Drake in the studio, you got Push in the studio, you got Travis Scott in the studio, like, how much of the content is really yours?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You hear all
That's
this.
true.
You heard the story with Drake went in there, and Drake was supposed to get beats and work on his project, and the whole time he ended up working on Kanye shit, and then Kanye turned around and dissed him. So,
I think you got to put Kanye in kind of the same boat as Dre.
as Dr. Dre,
Yeah.
I think so.
As
I
a
don't.
lot of this stuff, and I'm not saying as far as talent wise or whatever. What I'm saying is with Dre, for a long time, a lot of people thought everything was his. Then it started to come out a little bit more and more that he had like Scott Storch doing the
Storch,
keys
yep.
or certain other
Like Jelly Roll in there, and
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying?
He had
Yeah.
other producers under him that would create it, and then he would just kind of oversee
Even Mark
it and then
Knox
kind
from
of
here,
tweak
right?
it.
Mark Knox was producing for Dre at one point, right?
Yeah, so that's what I meant. I didn't mean categorize. Everybody has their own opinion. So you're saying yes because you're curious.
I don't have high expectations for it. I haven't heard anything from. I mean, Yeezus. I was done after Yeezus. You know what I'm saying? No. It's horrible, but I feel like after all this time, he might have something that I could possibly enjoy on there. I don't expect to enjoy the whole project, but I think it might be a gem or two that I.
Usually niggas get better with age. Kanye's Benjamin Button.
Some do. Some do. Photo.
I'm most likely gonna listen to it. Same thing with Henny said. I'm curious. I think one thing when it comes to artists, once you've been doing it for a minute, you got a certain type of fan base, and you got a certain type of leverage. You could do whatever the fuck you want. You know what I mean? When you starting off, when the first few albums, you are doing things for the fans essentially, right? At a certain point, you're doing shit for yourself because he's still a creative. You know what I mean? He's still an artist, and so a lot of times people want to do something for themselves. The same thing like with Frank Ocean. His last album, everybody was expecting a lot of it, but it was what he wanted to do. You know what I mean? So let's see what
I'm
I
gonna
let's see what Kanye does.
I'm a heavyweight challenge you on that. I think the reason why albums decline is because when you're writing your first album, you're compartmentalizing your entire life,
Yeah.
and you're taking a really long time to write that story, right? As a writer, right? Would you agree?
Oh yeah.
Um,
and it's your first impression
It's
to the
your
world,
first-
so you gotta come out swinging.
It's not so much of trying to impress a fan base. I think that fan base thing comes in album 2 or 3, right? When you really just go hard on that first project, which is the reason, like, when I write for other artists or I'm writing for people, I always listen to their first body of work. I know what they're doing now, but I know that first body of work is the real them. You know what I'm saying? That's who they really are. So, and I'm not mad at experimentation or whatever. And it may be a part of Kanye, all this other stuff that he's doing. Because I like to do, like I've done records for Express and Forever 21 that sound nothing like my own music. But I would think that what we're seeing right now is the music we're getting from Kanye is a direct result of his mental health. The kind of stuff that we're getting. Because he's not even talking nearly about any of the stuff he was talking about originally. He's so far out there. He got lines about bleaching buttholes. and if I do anal, does that make me an asshole? Like, that's crazy.
That's true.
I don't
So
like it.
So yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yes.
listen to it. I'm gonna listen to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Kanye is very good at creating that curiosity too.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what all of this is.
He's a key at marketing.
Man, come
He's
on
like
now.
the best at marketing.
We could put them homeless clothes out and everybody be buying
Oh
them.
man.
Them homeless shoes, too.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Them
Yeah.
damn
From
slides.
3D prints.
Hey, feel
Yeah.
it.
No, he is.
That's
See,
exactly what they
but
are.
I think because he studied it, like if you look at his idols like Steve Jobs, like he knows how to market a product, and that's, I would probably say even 80 in today's music industry. That's 80% of you getting your music out.
Clouding your way to a good
Is
album.
is not even if it's good or not. It's
Yeah.
how do you market it,
Yeah.
and then people listen to it. And once people
Yeah.
stream it, then it's
You
already
already
streamed.
got it.
Well, not even just how you market it. Nowadays, as we see, it's like how inflammatory can you be? Like how hype can you get people? And getting people mad to me seems like the new wave of getting people to listen to your music.
Yep. At that level.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to bootleg it though. I ain't giving them no
Wow.
streams until.
Man, help a black man out.
Say he
Look,
on a
Kanye don't need no help. Except for mental health. I'm gonna listen to it just mainly because we are in the media industry, so we do need to. I want to be able to give my insight on what the album is. Plus, I'm a little curious because I already told y'all how I feel about albums. I love toxic albums. I love when there's
Yes,
breakups
sir.
and divorces.
Kim K and the Kardashians.
Because usually, like what y'all was saying, that first album you have your whole life. But then a lot of artists struggle doing album 2, album 3, album 4 because there's nothing that changed in between then. Or they, you know what I mean? So usually, good artists are able to talk about what's going on in their life. So I'm kind of curious to see what he's going to talk about because it was Jesus, then it was Jesus is King, and now it's kind of like, where are you going with this? You know what I mean? So, and I'm just curious to see
He went
sonically.
from talking about God to feeling like he is
God. Right. He went.
Oh, no. The other
No,
way
the
around.
other way.
Other way
God.
around. Other way around.
He went
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
being God.
He went from thinking he was a god to now kind of doing the polar opposite where he's putting God on the pedestal. So I'm just curious, but
You say you
sonically,
confused?
Yeah.
sonically, and because Kanye usually is on the forefront of setting trends. So I'm kind of just curious to see because that's the other thing too. Artists are usually scared to experiment because they don't want to lose their fan base or because they want to sell a certain amount. I don't think Kanye is. I don't think he's concerned about selling albums at all. So it's going to be a pure creative. I'm going to put out what I want to put out, but
Exactly.
I ain't forgot all that Trump, MAGA,
Right.
I haven't
slavery's
forgot
the
that
choice.
either.
I ain't forgot none of that. So I ain't giving you a
Yeah.
dime. I will be. I'm sure somebody gonna upload it on YouTube.
This
I
nigga's
will listen to
vindictive.
it. Nah, I'm just not giving you my money.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'm
You-
not. I'm
you
not.
can choose who you want to fucking
I
support.
feel strongly. I
financially.
feel strongly about that too. You know, we talked about it with the whole Kevin Samuels. You ain't getting no streams from me. I don't care. Like, I'm not going to.
I'm sending Steph Kevin Samuels videos every day.
I ain't opening it. I'm not giving you no streams. Like, I just don't want to give people time that I don't like. And I feel like on the internet, we get caught up in doing that a lot. Where it's like we gravitate to the stuff we don't like to see how much more we don't like it.
That's facts. You know what? Because we nosy.
But it's genius because then.
See?
But it's genius because then if you don't like it, then you're more liable to comment.
Yup.
Then you get in arguments with people in the comments, and then
Yup.
that helps out the algorithm, and you really helping the
Bro,
thing that
you see
said
what
you
I
don't
said?
like.
don't like.
I said Steph traps. I know how to write my post because
Steph
her and
traps.
Lies are. Well, the engagement from her. This is one thing I know. It's never personal, right? It's always from we know the content.
Y'all got close.
Who, us?
Yes.
No, we are. We're close.
No.
Who?
You said it never personal. I said y'all.
Oh.
Y'all done got little. Y'all done
Yeah.
had some good rants.
Yeah, but at the end of the day,
It's good content.
yeah, but at the end of the day, anything that Steph says, I don't take that shit
No,
personally.
I know.
Yeah. Plus, I will just pull up.
Ain't like y'all don't know y'all live. Exactly. All right, man. So we gonna go ahead and get into the interview, man, because we got, like I said, we have a hip hop pioneer that is in the building. So first, congratulations on the
Yeah.
new album.
Thanks, sir.
Nostalgic, man. I'll listen to it front and back. And it was dope, man. It was dope. Ask him.
Yeah,
I don't give compliments out.
Listen. There's guys. So you, R.I. and Trey Mack. That's it,
That's it.
right? Only people who've been here that
I've given compliments.
And every rapper.
What about the
ass.
rest of them?
Every rapper ass.
That's been here.
Yeah.
Haven't had any.
Oh, okay.
We don't like honest. We
no, him.
Right, I'm saying. I
okay.
He
was
has
wondering
a-
if there was been rappers in the
No,
building that you
no.
just haven't complimented.
No, and off air,
No,
me,
no.
me and him have conversations
Bro.
all the time.
Even with music.
And
I
on the
make
phone,
with
I hear a
people.
song, I'll be like, dude. He's like, oh, I know you about to trash this guy.
shit.
I'm
Bro,
like,
I literally send every song that I'm working on. I send it to him. You know what I'm saying?
You need people like that.
Yeah,
and about 90% of them, I don't like.
That's facts. And then like for the best heartbreak ever, I was sending it to well, she's a hypercritic. He's a hypercritic.
Yeah.
He just likes whatever. Like I like whatever. But
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But I gotta listen to the people that I feel like are gonna be
Honest.
Have high
right.
standards.
Yeah.
So
It's important.
the in total, we haven't had a lot of rappers because his
We're
gotta
not,
have
letting,
standards,
bar.
we're not letting nobody do no media runs on the platform that we don't rock with.
that's facts.
Fair enough.
Simple as that.
No.
I appreciate
You know
it.
why? Because we're prejudiced and we're biased.
If you don't support us, why would I allow you to come on here and then
Whoa.
do your media run and then help you out?
Can you get that?
If
What more
we
do you
don't-
want
if
from
we
me?
don't if we don't rock.
Hit me
If
with-
I rock with you because I see that you are spreading love. You are also supportive,
Bingo.
and I know that you've been supporting him. So yeah, hell yeah, come because that's family.
And
but
and
if
the
you just
music
hit us
gotta
up,
be good.
but we've had people, and the music got to be
Come
good.
on, don't leave
if
that
you
out.
if you hit us up
That's
because
number
he's had
one.
conversations with people that ask to come on, and then he's like, oh, have you listened to the podcast? No.
Yep. Then we can't do it.
Then why are you asking to come on the show?
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
No.
I feel it.
Well, the problem is.
It don't make sense.
But anyway, back to more positivity, man. Like I said, congratulations on the album. Can you just give us some insight to the inspirations behind the album and the subject matter? Because it was dope.
I mean, definitely sitting down for like a year was definitely contributed to that. But it's a lot of losses that I took during that time, so you can feel that in there. So
Hell
it just
yeah.
talks about, you know, appreciating life and appreciating the people around you a lot more. But I also wanted to do something that that everybody could listen to. You know what I'm saying? From my grandmother to my kids. Like, you know, I wanted to make a album that didn't make you cringe, you know, if you didn't really listen to rap music like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I've got fans that don't listen to other rap music, but listen to my stuff. So I wanted to give them something a little bit more light and positive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I had just came off the run for Win, and Win was, you know, my most successful record, and that was, you know, something positive. So I figured I'd follow it up with some more positivity.
With the work.
You know
Yeah.
what's crazy about him is that he can go into that Tech Nine, you know, that Tech Nine lane where he can do the horrorcore, and he can come all the way back and do, you know, the vibes and positivity, and then he can go back and give you the street shit, and then he could come back. It's not a lot of people who can, and then his fan base is multiracial. It's not just black people, or it's not just Mexicans. It's everybody, bro.
Yeah.
Which is impressive as fuck.
Well, I think good music transcends all
Right.
cultures, backgrounds, all of that.
Yeah,
So
I
it
think
was
so.
it was good music. I like to call it grown man bars because it
Facts.
was very
Facts.
introspective. That's probably the best way I can explain it. And so on your single, Love and Happiness,
Happiness and Love.
Happiness and Love, which has the Marvin Gaye sample.
Al Green.
Al Green, man. Al Green sample. There was a lot of samples on the album.
The
which-
whole album.
whole album was sampled.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you who the only human sample was. I'm gonna ask you later. Just think about it. I was like, man, I'm trying to pinpoint that. But in the second verse of the single, Happiness and Love, you rap about humble beginnings and breaking generational curses of incarceration.
Bars.
So first, how did that affect you as a child? Because I know that you rapped about your father being incarcerated, and then how did going through that mold you into who you are today?
How it affected me as a child, man, it sucked. You know, it was hard. You know, my pops went to prison when I was 3 months old and got out when I was 17. So that's my
Wow.
whole childhood.
Damn.
So moving forward in life, I mean, I promise each and every one of my kids that you would never ever have to worry about me being absent, let alone being incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think it affected me negatively, and I still, you know, have issues with it that I deal with, but it still made me not want to ever put my kids in that position.
Bars.
So we always talk about how you can go through things and you either become that or you do the adverse. You know what I mean? And it's a good example of being mentally aware at such a young age that you make decisions that positively positively affect your family and your friends, your relationships, even though you're still dealing with your own traumas. Being able to compartmentalize that and work on it as needed, which is hella dope. That's what that record, you know, kind of said to me.
Yeah, it was very deep.
Thank you.
Very deep. Very deep.
My kids love the record too, and they all in the video too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, going through that, so obviously I know that you said that it affected you deeply and you're still dealing with that. So, as a father, how was that? How were you able to maneuver, obviously going through your childhood without having a father, meaning him actually present there, obviously, because he was gone for the most, and then also trying to kind of escape some of the traps that black men go through that can lead us to prison. You know what I mean? Like, as far as, you know, the gang life, as far as obviously in hip hop that we deal with a lot of things that in society, which that's why I love your record so much because it's so positive. A lot of times with hip hop, we kind of gravitate towards the drug dealing, towards the gun violence, things like that. So how growing up, was it like a conscious effort that obviously, because now you're telling them that, you know, hey, I would never not put myself in a position to not be there for you.
Right.
But growing up, was it still that same conscious effort to saying, hey, look, there's some things like we all got homeboys or been in situations that could lead us to that. And it takes a lot of maturity to say, look, that's not for me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it wasn't as conscious as it is now, because I ain't gonna say that I ain't never did nothing that could possibly have landed me in a position like that. But I was also visiting my father in prison. You know what I'm saying? So and like overnight family visits in the weekend, and he would tell me stories and things like that, and I would just see, you know, just how it looks and how it feels for him to, you know, have people tell him when to do what he did and come out and then take him back in, and it was just like, nah, I don't want this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So anything that's gonna lead me down that path, yeah, I'm trying to stay away from it. And like I said, I might have got close to it and done some bad things as a child, but never nothing extreme to where I was looking at no time like that.
Right. And then so he got out when you were 17. So were you guys able to reconcile and kind of get, you know, kind of build your relationship after that, or?
Kinda, not necessarily. He moved across the country and stayed there until he unfortunately passed last year. So no, we never really mended that relationship all the way. And yeah, that made me want to go even more harder for my children. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that I never really had a solid relationship. We talk on the phone and
Yeah.
you know, that's what it is. But it was never the type of bond that I have with my kids now.
Right. Well, we commend you, man, for that. You know, on this podcast, we like to have conversations that are not easy to have. And as a black man, there's always that stigma that we're not there for our children.
Yeah.
And it could have easily went the other way, where you could have followed in those footsteps. You know what I mean? So we have to have those conversations, because that breaks generational curses and it changes your whole family tree, where now your kids see the example that you are, and they'll hopefully follow in your footsteps because they see the positive influence that it has. Because again, a lot of times we see the opposite, where they follow behind the father's footsteps and then they end up continuing that cycle. So
I can't understand how you could go through that and want to put your
Turn
children
around
through
and do
that.
the same shit.
Yeah.
That don't make no sense to me.
Do you think that due to, I want to say, like the previous generation of that being like the biggest, like one of the biggest issues in the black community was the fact that, I don't want to say the fact, but a lot of fathers weren't there. But now that the children whose dads weren't in the picture, especially when it comes to like the sons, do you think that trauma is the reason why they like the major change of black fathers being in their children's life because of not wanting that?
I think so.
I think so too.
I definitely think so. I think your parents can either show you an example of what you want to be, but sometimes they show you what what you don't want to do. You know what I mean? And you try to do the complete opposite. And I think that's what we're seeing now, especially with the change with us actually addressing our trauma. I think we're the first generations that's really going to therapy, that's really taking the time to sift through all the baggage that we got, because our parents, you know, they was just
Trying to survive.
I mean, in survival mode, you know what I mean? So they didn't have time to be like, oh, let me figure out why. Nah, you know what I mean? So for us, we're actually changing the culture, I feel like.
And we have the resources.
I think
beautiful.
the
resources, too,
We
yes.
have the resources, we have the time, and we're not. Although we're dealing with slavery or not slavery, but racism and separatism and all that ugly stuff that we have to deal with. It wasn't to the extent where they're killing us in the streets. Most of us aren't running from the Klan members much anymore. You know, we don't got a bunch of skinheads burning down. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we've taken advantage of the evolution of time that we have. You know what I'm saying? And I think that we are that generation. Like J. Cole called us the middle child. That's us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that you bring up a good point, because a lot of times we don't think of that. Like, you don't think, oh, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? But it's like all of our ancestors before us either dealt with slavery, dealt with dealt with the fights of civil
Yep.
rights.
Yep.
Then you had to deal with the crack epidemic.
Yep.
So it was like we
lot
the
of
first
stuff we didn't
generation
have
to
to deal with
kind of
that.
have a little bit of freedom to be able to focus on, okay, well, damn, like I got to really deal with my trauma. Like you didn't have time to deal with your trauma when you were dealing with crack. You know what I mean? Like that was, and then mass
That's
incarceration.
traumatic in itself.
Yeah, and then just trying to get freedom, like
mass
trying to get, and then
incarceration.
trying to get equal rights. So there was always a bigger fight at the forefront to the point where, and I'm not saying you didn't have time, but what I'm saying is it was harder for you to think about these other things, and that's like when we talk about all these systematic things that are happening to us, and I even have these conversations. You were like, well, why didn't he do it? It's like, well, as a white person or as whatever race you are, you can focus on generational wealth. You can focus on being happy. You can focus on your children,
right?
Because you live a life where you don't have to deal with racism,
right,
with biases, with prejudice,
redlining,
with with mass incarceration.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about those things, so it frees you up to be able to focus on setting up your family to succeed. So imagine us going through these generations and not having that, and then you asking us, well, why is the generational wealth so big? Why is the gap so big? And why are you guys?
Because we were literally fighting for
our
survival.
Facts.
I mean, I tell people all the time, like, people think
live.
it's so far removed, but I'm like, shit, my mom's birth certificate says Negro.
Yeah.
Fam, like,
Facts.
come on
my,
now.
my,
Like,
my
it
dad's
was a
too.
different time.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
It again, we talk about it. This is why I love coming here, man. We talk about this stuff so much. You know what I mean? And hopefully it strikes a chord. It's dope to hear his story and it's dope to hear your story, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, we do. We have the resources, we have the internet, we have psychologists that we can reach out to. There's helplines, there's hotlines, there's suicide prevention lines. There's all kind of things that we can tap into, prayer, church, whatever. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
seeing it a lot more in the media too,
Yeah,
like
well,
it's becoming
that.
more popular.
Yeah, well, because it one, you see it in the media because there's a lot of money in it, but the necessity of it for us is the availability of it is the necessity for us.
Yeah.
Right. You're really seeing it a lot because there's money to be made and there's a pill for that and there's a pill for this and a pill for that.
Yeah.
But the work is, at least we have access to the work now. I don't wake up every day and the only thing I worry about, which I shouldn't have to, is every time I get in my car or a motorcycle that I get pulled over by a cop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm worried about that, about my brothers, but that's like at the height of the things that I worry about. You know what I mean? Going on. The new form, the reason why the incarceration thing is so huge is because that's the new form of systemic racism. It's this new form of slavery. You get incarcerated, you can't get a job, you can't get credit, right? You don't have credit, you can't buy a home, you can never be an owner, right? So it's impossible to pass down generational wealth. Right? So you have to look at the chronological timeline of how these events transpire, and then how if you can't get those things, then you in turn pass those down to your children.
Right.
And if you learn after those experiences, you'll still set your children up to, but most children are literally virtually living the same lives that their parents live.
That's what I was about to bring up, because I know how we're doing pretty damn good, right? But I don't think that we're not as a whole out of that survival mode.
no,
There's a lot of people who are still
it's
no
still
way.
it's a
right.
long
There's
way
still a
to
lot
go
of people
still.
who are still in that survival mode.
Absolutely.
We may have more access to doing a lot of things, but people who are still in that survival mode aren't going to access those things that they have reached to. So I think people still are in that to where it's like, it's still hard to grow.
Yeah.
So I can't say that we're like, yes,
Yeah.
we are in a better position. Yes, we are doing a lot of better things when
Yeah.
it comes to the previous generation.
just-
but that doesn't necessarily mean that we still are going to use that as a whole.
Just what you deal with on a daily basis, it 100% shapes your character, it shapes your mentality, it shapes your personality. Bro, you can go to Wingstop on Florin Road, bro, and if the food is 5 minutes late, everybody's in there ready to fight, right? And it's not that the wings are late. It's that, nigga, you don't know how hard I worked to get these goddamn wings, or you don't know what I had to go through today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it personifies itself in anger over wings. You're still gonna get your wings, but that 5 minutes is everything to you. You know what I'm saying? And then, it's just those little things that we don't really pay attention to, where you see the high crime and the high violence and in those areas. Those are attributed to daily life stresses and looking for somewhere to release that or take it out. You know what I'm saying? So those triggers some of those triggers are hair triggers where you barely gotta push them, and then you got a whole situation
Because
because
everything out throughout the course of their day has built up to that
facts,
point.
the
Right.
course of the day. So that's
true.
I think that, like I said last episode, one of the things that G Focus really, I mean, he hasn't said it a lot, but it hit me so hard is having grace for people, right? Is because I don't really know, I don't know what you're going through. I can relate because I come from a crack house and my daddy was gone most of the time and whatever. So I feel like if I know what I had to go through, then I could show the same grace to someone else. Because none of us would really be where we are if you didn't have some outside help or influence.
Absolutely.
Right.
And we have to have compassion and empathy for each other.
Yeah.
And just look at the conversation. So from his single, from Happiness and Love, this is the conversation that came just from the second verse. You know what I mean? So that is the subject matter that has just been so heavy. And like just even this last week, like we talk about it a lot, being intentional. In his song, he's talking about intentionally choosing to be happy and to operate in love. And compassion literally means, if you look it up in the Greek, it literally means to suffer with. So when you say, I have compassion for somebody, but then when they're going through something, you like, oh, hey, just call me if you need anything. But when they call you, then you can't get a hold of you. That's not being compassionate.
Facts.
Being compassionate means if I'm suffering with somebody, I am literally putting myself in their shoes and understanding what they're going with. And we don't have that, again, to what Dababy was saying, because we are in survival mode so much, we individualize our own issues, and then we don't think outside of ourselves, where the bottom line is we're all connected. And if we all are intentional, like what Henny was saying, then we can start improving our communities and our society. And like just the intention, I want to just go back to his example, is being intentional about how he raises kids.
Big man.
As
Yeah,
parents,
big
we
man.
all have to realize there's no way you can stop passing something down to your children. You're either passing down positivity or you're passing down negativity. And you're either passing down, helping them get ahead, or you're passing down trauma. You're passing down something.
Right.
And you have to like really look at your box and say, okay, what did I get from my childhood? What did I like? What did I not like? What I liked, pass it down. What I don't like, I need to figure it out, and I need to get
Filter
rid
it
of it.
out, yeah.
Break the
But
cycle.
you have to break the cycle. But you got to be intentional.
Yeah.
And you have to know what you are dealing with. Because a lot of times, a lot of men, especially men, talk about it. Women, you guys are a lot more in tune. We have been always told to not deal with our emotions, or not have emotions. So if somebody's been telling you your whole life, don't be emotional, don't be emotional. Then when it's time to be emotional, it's like, well, how come you're not emotional? Because I was never taught to be emotional. So how can you determine what's a good emotion, what's a bad emotion? How do I deal with anger? How do I not deal with anger? How do I turn my anger into a positive energy instead of dealing with anger and using that as how to cope with what I'm dealing with? You know what I mean? And we don't deal with that. And then if somebody's incarcerated, that's a whole nother level of trauma that you're dealing with, because like you said, you're being told when to eat, when to sleep, when to leave your, and you're caged in a 6x9 cell where people have control over you for 14, 15 years. And then you expect them to go into society and then be normal
and be productive, not just normal
and productive
Be
and be able to
productive.
lead a family and
Right.
be like, it's just crazy how
It is
we
crazy.
do that. There's no rehabilitation. All it is you are capitalizing off of cheap
What-
labor.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are some prison programs where there is
but the
do
United,
different skills,
the
but-
United States they're dubious at creating a systemic, because you're incarcerated in the Netherlands or in Germany or whatever. When you go to jail, they force you to go to college. You go to college, they send you to college, they get you educated,
A skill,
they get you
yeah.
some life skills. Either they teach you to be a tradesman or whatever, as you should,
Yeah.
right? The fact of just, all right, well, we're just gonna put you on a timeout indefinitely, and we're gonna let you
Rot.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna say. We're gonna let you rot, and here your brain is not gonna be useless. Or your brain's gonna be useless. You're not gonna be
Health
useful.
problems, because that's what Pops died
Bro,
from. Is
come
all
on,
kind of
come
health
on.
problems
Health-
that he acquired. Being in there.
physical and mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
crazy.
Imagine the strain of, some of us don't even are claustrophobic. Some of us don't even like to be in the dark. You know what I mean? So, imagine just being there all the time, all the violence you have to see, all the fights you have to fight for yourself. You know what I mean? Like you're in prison you're in prison from the guy who stole a bike, and this is his third offense, to the person who killed his family. You
Right.
don't know who you're dealing
You don't
with.
know. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So how do you rehabilitate a mind that's always debilitated by negativity?
Yeah. And then how do you quantitate the how it impacted everybody else that person is connected to.
Right.
We don't even think about that.
No, because
You know what I mean?
no,
Because
not
it's
at
not because when you send somebody to jail, they're not the only ones that is in prison.
Right.
You're also putting their family in prison because again, like I got somebody that's locked up now that I'm trying to help, but they make it so difficult to put money on the books,
Facts.
to send letters, to send emails, and they get switched. You don't know when he got switched to. They go from this prison to this prison. Then you like trying to find. They make it so difficult for you to support them. And again, like, and I'm trying to support their, family, and it's like they're kind of froze up because they're like, I don't know what to do because he was always the breadwinner. He was always there. You know what I mean? So we always think about the person that's incarcerated, but it also affects the people that are out in the world that they were connected to.
Yeah.
And again, that's why that record
That record
is so important. And again, that's just the second verse. That's not even the whole song. But that it again, choosing to be happy and to operate in love, that's a difficult thing to do, dealing with that and having that being the center of your childhood. So again,
Someone
I
just
commend
told
you
me
as
that,
a
man.
black man. We need more examples of that, and that is where and that's a single. Most singles are
Shake that ass.
Shake that ass.
I got that way. Hit him with the K. Bleep, bleep.
right. So
Don't talk about bouncy.
That's facts. Hey, but look. Yeah, when that song comes out,
I just commend
it's gonna go crazy.
It is not, and most people that are putting out music are just doing it for the streams. So that impact of that, just listen to that made me think about that.
we're
And like I
guilty of
said,
that.
it brought up this conversation. So
Right.
if you listening to the
I've
album,
never had it broke down like that before. So,
Bro,
so
this is
just
what
to
we're here for,
Listen
dog.
to y'all sit here and break it down like that. That means you really was tuned in.
You have to. My next-
other than I got the sample wrong, but yeah.
My question about that song in particular, because I listened to it a lot. When you inboxed it to me, I listened to it like 4 times. The thing that stuck out for me was a generational curse. So, at what point did you realize that you weren't just battling with something that was a one-time thing? At what point did you recognize that, yo, this is something that has been passed down, and I gotta fix it,
or could be passed down.
Yeah. Or at what point?
I mean, my homies was, they had absent fathers as well. I mean, just looking around, just everybody around me, like, I knew it was a thing that was becoming regular, unfortunately. And so I knew that I didn't want to be that, and some of my homies have had that same issue and passed that generational curse down, and I look at them and you can't, you do understand why it's passed down because it's all you know sometimes, but you have to make the choice to want better than that for yourself, for your children, and their children.
Does it make you look at friends that you grew up with a little bit different that don't raise their kids?
Yeah.
It does for me too.
I'm
bro.
not a fan.
I'm not gonna lie either, bro. It really crushes me that, like, I really don't have any friends that decided not to raise their kids.
I don't have any more.
Yeah, because I do. It's like the world is rocking.
Yeah.
And then, like, the love that I have for my kids and for fathers.
Yeah.
Like, I think that thing is, it drives a. And I try not to be like judgmental because sometimes I feel like I should help.
Right.
I should try to help them get to that point. But it's really, really hard for me to listen to somebody complain about how bitter the baby mom is.
Yeah.
And I'm watching you not do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
See, that's why I like how you said decided to not be in there. Like,
Yeah.
you're not cool with anybody who decided not to.
No, yeah.
There are
Because
occasions
sometimes
where it's
I got
not their
friends.
fault.
I
Right,
got
of
friends
course.
too that the mom is just like F you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But nah.
I've been through that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
I would say
We have to switch
I
that
would
around.
say I would say that you got it. It's a case by case.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I can't say that all baby moms are baby moms because they want to be, or I can't say that all, you know what I'm saying? I can't say that all baby moms are baby moms because the nigga was trash. You know what I mean? I can't make that judgment. But
But
I
even with a trash baby mama, how hard are you fighting or going
Bingo.
to be in that kid's life, man? Put all that other stuff aside. A lot
of pride.
A
Bro.
lot of dudes get caught up in the moment and all that you have to go through because women could be, that could be difficult and use that child like an object, you know what I'm saying? But it's up to you to say I can get through that and I mean court system ain't it's not fun for nobody, you know.
No.
But if you go, I mean I've been in and out the courtroom, 50 times. You know what I'm saying? But I have custody of my son and I've had custody since he was 2 years old.
Come on, man.
and it can be done. So it's up to you to say, hey, regardless of how bitter or difficult my baby mama could be, it's a bigger picture.
I'm gonna do what I
My
gotta
child,
do.
my child is worth
You know
it.
what though?
Right, exactly.
That's a grown man decision.
Well, that's where the
Your
grown
child
man
gotta be
bars
this.
come from.
Facts.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can hear it all through the
That's where the grown man bars
Yeah,
come
man.
from.
I mean, it's yeah, and I do. Like I said, I think I did use the word decide because I do know that it's a decision that you have to consciously make to not fuck with your kids.
Everything's a decision.
Right.
Even if you're not consciously making a decision, you're still making a decision.
How do you have life that comes out of you, and then you're like,
That should eat you alive.
as it should.
Well,
Man, look,
What's worse is there's women doing it too. We're not gonna put a business on blast like that, but at the same time, it happens, and I can't understand that even more.
You carried that life,
Right.
And then just didn't move it. I ain't no way.
well, so
I
first,
have single father friends, so I know.
First, I got asked to be essentially a sperm donor, and it was like you ain't got to be a part of the child's life. I was like, but I feel like I kind of want to. I feel like I don't like at least make me the godfather or some shit. Like I pop up like an uncle, but I'm like the same.
I love that
You know,
answer.
the shit sounds cool until the shit's not cool.
Right? Because
What?
like I just feel like I just can't.
Nah,
I have a
be
kid
there.
out there.
to his point, and I don't remember where it was at, but there was a story where the surrogate carried the baby, and then decided not to give it to
Oh,
the
yeah, that
surrogate's
happens all the
mother,
time.
and then the mother tried to sue the surrogate over the child.
Because there was payment
But
involved.
but
there was a lot involved.
Yeah,
when it comes to that shit,
but
so it
but
makes
it's like
sense.
that kind of speaks to your point or like what Steph was saying. How can you carry a child in your you
womb?
get
Yeah.
all the emotions, you get all the whatever, all the
Chemical
chemicals, whatever,
imbalances and
then,
rebalances
and then
yeah.
have it and then hand it over to somebody else.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
You got to
well,
be built a
But
certain way
you
to,
got
to
but
do
you
that.
but the thing is, unless he has contracts or paperwork involved, bro, you there's a lot of people. I've had women give me the same offer. Let's just have a baby, and then for what? Why would I just let you have my baby and then go do whatever the fuck you wanted to do without me having any advice or wanting to care for my own child?
Right.
You know what I mean? But unless you got like contracts and paperwork involved that say that, this was a decision you guys made or whatever, bro, child support is still on the table, right? You still got to sign the birth certificate.
As a sperm donor?
As a sperm.
sperm donor.
No, the
contracts.
conversation that he
yeah.
was having.
Yeah.
The contracts, if you have contracts as a sperm donor, you're not obligated to do any of
Okay.
that stuff.
Yeah.
But if you're just on a whim and some chick is like, yo, let me just have your baby and you can
Go
go.
half on a baby.
You're crazy.
But not like even on the opposite end of what you're saying, talking about like, oh, you have this baby and you got all the connections to it, you got this love for it. There's an opposite end to where women can get pregnant and have a baby and just have no type of emotional connection to it.
No,
That's
that can't happen. I'm just saying in a normal circle. I said she would not want to give it up because she
Right.
felt connected to the baby.
Right.
And I said
Right.
I can
I don't feel
identify.
like, it'll never. Even if you're a surrogate, I don't feel like it's just easy. I mean, there's
It's
people
not.
that give their children up for adoption because they
Yeah.
can't provide or whatever. But it's not easy.
No.
Nah,
You
it's
know what
not
I'm saying?
easy.
So
No,
when you
no,
see
no,
women
no.
that have children and then ain't in their lives, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. But again, everybody got a story, and I'm not saying it's justified, but we all grew up differently with different people, different traumas, and I'm not saying that again. I'm not justifying that at all, but I think we gotta figure out there has to be a backstory because that's crazy to me. Have a child that's your flesh and blood, and you don't want to see him, rock with him, I don't know.
Can't
I
understand.
can't deal with it either.
I couldn't.
Yeah, I don't think any of us here can.
I
I think any normal human being,
I couldn't.
for the most part, cannot.
I don't even know what normal is, so I don't know.
Yeah, I
what
don't know.
categories.
All right. Maybe normal wasn't the best.
No,
So we're
not at all.
gonna. I'm gonna get back to the interview,
None of us
man.
are normal.
Golly, that was the first question.
Damn.
Fire, bruh.
Fire. So we already talked about the album being heavily sample based.
Yes, sir.
With the soulful undertone, which just hits my heart, man. Hits my
This
heart.
nigga wants to be from the East so bad.
Hey. That's what catches my ear. So the sample that caught my ear, speaking of what you just said, was the Big Pun sample
See,
on the Glamour Life.
that was fire though. I ain't gonna
I
lie.
was like, okay, nice little flip. So, was the sound of the album intentional? Did you go in saying this is how I want it to sound because you knew it was going to match the subject matter, or was it that it just kind of came together like that?
It just came together. My producer, who produced the whole project, which is the first time I've ever done anything like this, just kind of put a pack of beats on the table for me and said, all right, I want to do a project together. This is what I got. Let's work. And I kind of just knocked them out, one by one. And, took different directions with each song. But, I didn't have a theme. I knew I wanted to be nostalgic, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't have like a certain content matter that the album would represent. But I know that, man, everything I hear nowadays has the new age sound to it. It's got, the trap percussion and I mean that's all you hear. I mean, if you dig,
My bad.
if you dig, you could find something. But that's another thing. I wanted to take it back. To the days of boom bap
So
and
matches the album title. So that's dope. Yeah. Who was the producer? I'm sorry.
Just Loyal.
Hey, shout out, man.
Shout out my brother, man.
Nice.
I feel like I love songs when with those type of samples because, like you said, it's nostalgic.
Right.
So it like automatically gets you immediately because it takes you back. It definitely.
Yeah.
When that Happiness and Love record comes on, man, and you hear that, it does something to you.
It does. It does. It made me feel like the record you were talking to. It made me remember like riding the school bus. Yeah.
Well, and because it reaches over multiple generations.
Yeah.
And like as an older person, like they're like, I remember, like it kind of hooks them in.
You already familiar with
Right.
It's my jam. Hold on,
Right.
But you better do it right though. If you choose
Big
to take that
For
route.
sure.
Big facts.
For sure.
Because I'll destroy a producer for destroying the sound.
Come on,
And those
That's you should.
and those sample clearances ain't cheap.
No, they ain't.
Not at all.
But I'm not talking about just the producer. I'm talking about the artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Talk about
has to-
please don't mess up a class.
Yeah, man, you talking about sample clearances. Sometimes they be like, I want the whole record, and you just take whatever you make on shows. That's you want to talk. That's a clearance for a lot of people. I want the whole record. I want 100%.
Well, if
Damn.
it's a good record, I mean, it's either that or you just don't put it out. Which
You
I mean,
put it on a mixtape.
yeah,
And
Or recreate it.
or recreate.
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
which is
But
that's
then
how
it
I
don't
got
sound the same.
That's how I.
Then it don't sound the same.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It was, man. I love the Big Pun sample. That was dope.
That's one of my favorite records.
Yeah,
on there.
yeah. So, and I know we already kind of talked about it a little bit. So, Only Human. I think that was my favorite record off the album.
Okay.
Favorite rap. I love introspectiveness. I love that. So, you detailed in that record how busy you are, how much of a challenge that it is to wear so many different hats, and how you found balance in all your responsibilities as being a man. Can you kind of talk to that and kind of give us an insight? Because I was hearing you talking about you work 10 hours a day, then the days you got off, and you in the studio. So as a father, I know how hard it is to balance your time. So how are you able to be intentional as a father? You are the host of Top Shelf Radio. You're putting out an album.
Hell album.
I was even on the record. You were saying that if you get an email back from the manager, the promoter,
That's my brother Mighty Bush on there. But yeah, but same.
That usually
same
is you.
concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So how do you balance all that?
I have no idea. It's hard. I don't know. Some days is they flow smoothly. Some days I feel overwhelmed.
Do you even sleep?
Sometimes.
Like, I blink.
Because I know for
Here
a
and
fact, I know when I'm watching 360, then you be in there till 11 o'clock.
12
o'clock.
sometimes. And then I mean there might be something going on after we get done.
He
But
don't sleep.
it's a lot, man. But
It pays dividends though.
having so many things going on and knowing that I'm not the only one that does, I felt it was important to put a record out to say that you can only handle as much as you can. You know what I'm saying? We all have a lot on our plates, whether it be work or kids or whatever it is, and it's easy to get overwhelmed. So I felt like people needed to hear that it's okay to be overwhelmed, that if you can't handle a certain amount of load, that it ain't meant for you to handle at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Steph, I know that resonates with you a lot because I know you've been
definitely.
talking about having the black superwoman complex where you feel like you got to do everything, and
I don't. I don't, and I keep it real. Like
That's right.
I don't try to be the superwoman in my household. Like if I need help, I'm finna let it be known. I'm finna reach out. That's what I got a whole tribe for, a support system for, and I learned that in therapy though. Like I ain't gonna say I just always been like this, but I learned that in therapy. But You have to, especially as Black people, because we carry a lot anyway, and then we do have our responsibilities on top of that. And you know, you got the pressures of what people think you should be. You should be able to handle all this. Everybody wants to be strong. Everybody wants to be self-made and do everything by themselves. Nah, get you some help. Hire you some people. Like, delegate stuff. Like, you ain't got to. You know what I mean? It don't always have to be you. And I think it's important to get like-minded people around you that you could trust, that's gonna do as good of a job as you would. And that's why I like what we got, because I know I could trust y'all to, you know, step in, or if I ain't here, Rod would go put out the episode stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you got people that could pick up the slack and help you out.
But it's important to have those kind of people around.
Those type of people.
It's got to be those type of people.
Otherwise,
Otherwise, you feel like you might as well be doing it
yourself.
Yeah.
For real.
That's facts. Nobody wants to do the group project and everybody gets an A.
Come on.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been in a lot of group situations where I've been the one to carry the torch.
I've been on a lot of jobs where it be on you, like, and I hate when I would feel like, okay, if I'm not at work, when I come back, the whole building gonna be done burned down.
You know how you can really gauge that, because I feel like when you said the groups, I've tried group music, group businesses, group the whole nine, and when the group falls apart, you can see who was the one rocking that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the progression doesn't stop for the person who was actually putting in the work.
That's
true.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And then
some
everybody else.
people don't continue in the same manner. Some people just stop.
Well, most people stop because they were getting a free meal.
Right.
How many times have you been in the studio with a motherfucker whose album was fire as long as your hands were on it? And then
Too many times.
Exactly. And then when you stop working on it, but it is the theme. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to find. He's laughing because he already knows.
Yeah, I mean, like, shit, there's a lot of girls I shot before and shit that was doing great when I was shooting them, and then when I stopped shooting them, I ain't been doing too much shit.
Because sometimes
This man just throwing shots.
No disclaimer on this one?
Oh yeah.
Nah, not at all.
Not at all.
It's the socks, nigga. I'm telling you, man.
Look, I'm getting to a point. Look, I realized
He's getting grown right now.
It's
That's how he's growing
it's the
up.
new camera.
He's
It's the new
growing
camera.
up.
No, dead ass. Check this out. It was a few years ago. Somebody was told me, like, look, eventually you're gonna start giving a fuck, and I'm starting to realize she was right.
Well, you gotta stop giving a fuck about people who are not gonna promote, who are not gonna help you progress. Right. And because like the record says, I'm only human, bro. I gotta be human for me in my situation first. Now, if you're not adding to, then you're obviously subtracting from.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we talked about last episode about giving from an empty cup or a half empty cup, right? So what you're supposed to give is the overflow. The beautiful thing about us is we're all putting in the same cup.
Put into the cup.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody putting in.
So like you with 360 Radio and Beto and everybody else that's over there, you know what I'm saying? And Eddie Z, right? You guys got the whole, right? And people don't even know how much of a connect you and Eddie Z are by yourselves. You know what I'm saying? But they got a team. They all put it in a cup. And then the artists that get to come on there and get an interview, that's overflow.
Well, and they can,
You know
and you can see the fruit.
Yeah,
you can see
definitely.
that it. You know, most people just look at the results, look at the stats, but don't know the work that went behind it.
Bingo.
We obviously, the people that are in it know the
Yeah.
work that goes behind it.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
can't even imagine. But when you see things working, it's like then people want to be a part of it.
Facts.
But it's like you don't have the same sweat equity that I got. So
Facts.
you don't get the same return that I got either. Like you can maybe take advantage of it a couple times, but to really reap the benefits of it, you gotta put in the work. You always reap what you sow. I think that record was so important to me, or not important. It was my favorite record because I personally am working on my perfectionism. I'm a perfectionist. I ain't gonna lie to you. Y'all know that. Everybody in this room know that. So I heard a quote that said, "You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present."
Yes.
And I was like, "Dang!" I was like, "That's me." So when I heard that record, I was like, "That's exactly what I'm trying to work on." Because I'm father, doing the media, doing the podcast, whatever. We got all these
Church,
kind of
Bible
ventures,
study,
whatever.
yeah, all kinds
So
of
it's
stuff,
like
yeah.
I don't have to be perfect in every single aspect that I'm doing it in, even though I want to be.
And you
But there's-
strive for that.
And you strive for that, but it's
Yeah.
okay if you fall short as long as you are present in the moment that you're at.
Right.
Present with your kid. Because my dad, and he's an amazing dad, but same thing we're talking about, passing stuff down. He worked so much because he wanted a better life for us, and I appreciate it. So I took that work. But then I realized, like, okay, but as a dad, if I'm always working, I'm not home.
Then you're not being a father.
And then I'm not having an impact, and I'm not being present
and you're
there.
not being a husband.
Yeah. So it's like yeah, working is important. Is putting food on the table important? Absolutely. But is that all what my responsibility is? No. That's just a small piece of the pie.
Right.
Because if I'm never home, then when I get home and I'm like, what's going on? Why is, what's going on with the grades? What's
Kids
going
gonna
on
be
with
grown by the time you finally get home.
And then but then I can't ask questions on why things are the way they are because
Facts.
I abandoned my post.
Right.
And it's not abandoning post, but again, that's what I said. A
balance.
decision
No, it's not.
is
It's
always
imbalanced, like
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
saying. It's imbalanced.
always a decision. Even
Yeah.
if you are subconsciously not saying that you're not there, you're
Yeah.
still not there. Even though you're getting money,
Yeah.
but the bottom line is how much
Yeah.
is the money worth you not being
I was
there?
listening to Pastor Keon, and they were talking about your responsibilities as a man, and when you're in your due diligence to your wife and to your kids, and they kept reiterating, you set the tone, and then the woman creates that atmosphere and keeps that atmosphere afloat. And he was like, if you're not present, then the atmosphere, you give her nothing to work with. You know what I'm saying? You're not there to help her out with the things that need to be helped out. You're not there to help her out with the kids. You don't set the tone with the kids. The kids are not disciplined, because the wife is she can only handle so much.
Yeah.
And she gets exhausted and she
And
gets
might be
burnt out as well
overwhelmed.
too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So as a man, like for me, I could probably say that's a key component in why I got divorced, because I did work so much. In my head as a youngster, 24, 25, I'm like, build. And I'm buying houses and I'm doing this, doing that. And she's always like, yo, we already got houses. We got to work on other stuff. So I could say that I was probably a key proponent in building an environment or an atmosphere that was conducive to not functioning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So hit me up, man. You hit me all across the face, man.
Hey, bro, this is like a mental health. When I was listening to it, it really is like it's therapeutic. To
Well,
me.
that's why I love introspective
You know
music
what
because it makes you think.
Especially when it's from a man.
Yeah.
Because then I'm listening to stuff and I'm like, damn, bro, that's really me. Or like when niggas say stuff that they're doing, I'm like, fuck, I don't do none of that.
So that was my favorite song on the album. So out of the songs on the project, and please don't give us the PC answer that all of them are your favorite. Every artist got that one that he like, yeah, I put my foot in that one. What song on the project is your favorite and why?
Man, can I do two?
Two. That's fine. Yeah.
Show shit.
I've really been digging "A Love of Your Own."
I love that song too.
I really like that song because it just talks about doing what you love and being with somebody you love, and just we get caught up in life and jobs and things of that nature that just are paying the bills, and you wake up in the morning dreading going to work. Like it's important to get up and enjoy what you do.
No,
And then people find themselves in dead end relationships and they choose to stick around for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it growing up. Like, why would you want to continue to be with somebody who don't make you happy? So,
Hey, bro, because
Well, hold on. What's number 2?
Another Day.
Another Day.
Another Day.
I like that record. I like all the records.
I do too.
I liked all the records.
I think my favorite one was "A Love for You."
That one was dope.
Yeah.
And it
Love
hits
Your
different.
Own.
And again, like I said, man, just introspective music brings different things out of you. Because we're just coming out of a pandemic, and because I'm seeing all these articles where people are not even going back to work,
Yeah.
it brings it all
Fuckery.
forefront. It brings all forefront.
Hey,
but I think
this
it's
is-
because it showed them what was important and what wasn't important. And a lot of times, like you said, people are working at dead end jobs where they hate it. They go in.
Now that's not fuckery, but the ones that are saying, "Hey, I can just sit back and collect this unemployment." And I
No,
ain't
yeah,
go
no.
back to work," that's fuckery.
I'm talking about the
Yes.
people that were working in the office. Then the pandemic happened. They went to work from home, and now they're asking them to come back. Like a lot of those people aren't going back,
Right.
Because of
That's
how
my job.
toxic the workplace was. Or
Ain't nothing
like
wrong
you
with
said-
that.
yeah.
Or it gives you more of a
You
chance
know-
to be at home with
You
your
know what it
family.
is? You know what it is? I learned a lot about my kids. I can tell you everything about my kids.
Yes.
From the pandemic. A lot of things that I feel like that some shit I thought was cool, and then I'm just watching them like, yeah, nigga, that's not cool. or some things where I'm like, where I didn't like, but then I get to have conversations with them, and then I understand,
Yeah.
why they think this way.
Yeah.
So then it gives me perspective of like how I should be parenting.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Because you're more present.
Because now I'm
present. That's
learning
the
the
key.
characteristics
Yeah.
of each of them, and I'm not just having like okay, this is my parent box and this is my bag of tricks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that, man, I don't know, bro. It's just a lot of, you spark a lot of conversation.
Yeah, as I'm saying, that ties in directly with that sentiment because there's a lot of people that do not want to get back to work, and even in relationships out of the pandemic, a lot of people because now they are forced to spend more time with their significant other spouse. Man, I thought you was dope. I don't even like you.
That's
like
because
that.
you ain't never been there because you've been at work the whole time.
Exactly.
You know, it is easy to manage a relationship from an office.
It is.
It's way easier.
Get real when you get
It's
to the
way
house.
easier.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, because as soon as I was here for a couple of months, I was like, yo.
This ain't cool.
I hit these niggas like she gotta go.
It's time to go.
Did I not? I wasted no time.
None.
I had a group
It
meeting.
exposed a lot.
I had
He
a group
realized, like,
meeting.
look, this wasn't it.
and I
Damn, does
was-
she
That
listen
shit
to the
divorced?
pod?
Who she still do? Oh, she gonna hear it. We know she lurking. We done seen screenshots and all kinds of stuff.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
wow.
Yeah, but
We don't hold our tongues up here.
bling 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 bling.
We tell the truth and
That's
we
facts,
keep
bro.
it real.
Hey, after yeah, you know who you are. But yeah, bro, it did. If I was married, I wouldn't have got divorced. Thank God I wasn't married.
Okay. This
Wait,
is
what?
your last
What?
election.
Like,
Oh,
my
yeah,
wife-
this
wait.
is after the.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
what? Say
I
that-
said if I
yeah.
was married during the pandemic, I wouldn't have got divorced because I would be married, but I wouldn't have been happy. We'd have to do some therapy and shit.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Okay. If I wasn't married.
Yeah, but
okay,
because
makes
I
sense.
wasn't,
I got you.
some things
got
I don't
you.
have to do.
Right.
Share the go.
Yeah.
I got you.
You can't get divorced if you weren't married.
That's
Exactly.
right. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Well,
But-
he's saying if he was married, he would have been. He
I
could
would've-
probably
he wouldn't
work
have.
through it.
I would have fought.
He would have used the resources to try to work.
Yeah, I would have tried.
So you would try.
I would have. Well,
Okay.
yeah, I would have tried.
You would have tried.
I mean,
You're not saying that you wouldn't have got a divorce. You said you would have tried not to.
Bingo.
Got you,
There
got you.
go. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
What more do you want?
That's all I can give you is an effort, baby.
I'm screaming.
So don't think
Well,
about
I mean,
it
since
too
we're on
much.
relationships,
Oh.
we can segue right on into the question of the day.
Yeah. We just wanted to know for those that are listening that are not familiar with Henny, on where we can listen to the album, where we can download it, where we can stream it, and where we can check out Top Shelf Radio. But before we get to that question,
Okay. Every platform. Look up Henny Holyfield. Whatever platform
Every
you listen to
platform.
music on. Henny
Godlike.
Holyfield. Nostalgic is the name of the album. Please make sure you go back and go listen to Clocked In and Far West Coast as well. Those all dropped in the course of the last year. And get ready for this new
Clocked In.
project.
Which one was Fab One?
Clocked In, but
Clocked
he's not
In?
on the album. He's just on the remix.
On
but
the
yeah,
remix.
but Clocked In is the one that you had on your list of albums that you was listening to
Yes,
for a
yes,
while.
sir. Right there on the top of my Spotify list.
Yes, sir.
I listen
appreciate
to it
that.
a lot.
so every streaming platform, I know I looked on YouTube Music, on Spotify, on Apple, it was everywhere.
iHeartRadio,
iHeartRadio, Pandora,
Amazon.
yeah,
Amazon, everywhere.
all of that.
So listen to it, and please make sure that you listen to Top Shelf Radio as well.
Top Shelf Radio is the 360 radio on everything: YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Twitch.
Yeah, you gotta have
And-
all of us on there now.
And that's on
Yeah,
Sunday.
yeah,
and,
that'd be dope.
And that's on Sunday at
9 p.m.
9 p.m. to like 11.
About 11.
Ooh,
Give or
look,
take.
look, if we go, because you do a lot of music, we could play Photo B's record. We can play your records, and we can make some songs for you.
Yeah, I got to get back in the studio.
We about to be the Reverb Experiment music group. Gang,
Yeah.
gang.
For real.
we should set that up before I leave. I mean, I'm booked till like November right now, so we can get y'all in.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
December.
Book and
that
busy.
work.
Yeah,
Hey, I ain't
like
gonna
get that
lie.
mix.
I went to the webpage. It was clean. Had the dates. Had the bookings. And I was like, man, this nigga got shit together.
I'm telling you, bro.
He got it
I'm
together.
telling you, bro.
Try,
You
man.
know why, bro? Because when he leaves, he's meeting and sitting down with all these big people, all these big radio stations, and you know what I mean. Like, you just gotta watch the stories. Let me show you where he's at.
Yeah, I gotta
He'd
follow
be
him.
all over.
Yeah, I gotta follow
He'd
him.
be all over. And,
Well,
and-
I
and
heard
that's
it on the record. The man said he worked 10 hours a day, and he busy studio meetings
Yeah,
the whole
that's
nine.
it,
So
bro. I mean, I just seen him in places the last 3 or 4 months, and I'm like, damn, bro, that's impressive. You know what I mean? A lot of places that I want to go.
it's but you got to be in the right position to see that as impressive.
Yeah.
Or as to push you to be better, because a
Yeah.
lot of people, especially
Like,
local,
fuck that
will see
nigga.
things, and they'll only watch your
That's
story.
how I can have enemies.
Oh, see that man? Like, fuck that motherfucker.
Come on.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah. How? This is what I'm saying though. I never hear anything like with RI.
Mm-hmm.
Like I never hear shit bad. Maybe because it's me. right? Maybe because niggas.
No, it's because it's his character and he's how he deals with people.
No. But he says he's got enemies, and I know, like, I'm pretty sure if we sat down and talked, I'm pretty sure I'm cool with niggas who don't like him, right? But I never hear anything bad about. You know what I'm saying?
But to be an enemy, you have to be a hater. I don't see. I sitting at the table and talking to this man. I don't see how you could not like him.
Well, you can't. It's success, man.
That's what I'm saying. You have to be a hater.
Success.
Bless their heart.
Man, being a hater got more to do. Being a hater got more to do with you than it got to do with what the other person doing.
Facts. That's absolute
That's
fact.
crazy.
I ain't losing no sleep.
At all.
Well, you're not.
Well,
Getting
I mean,
Oh,
they ain't calling me.
He's like, I'm not moving. I'm not
That ain't the
moving.
reason why.
Nah.
All right, so because of the transition, we're gonna go to talk about love relationships. Since we were talking about how the pandemic has exposed some of these fake relationships. So,
Man.
what's the question of the day, Miss?
I mean, since we're on the subject, I came across this on Instagram, and somebody asked, do y'all think social media killed real love, real relationships, and the real reality of things?
Yeah,
That's a loaded question.
that's hella loaded, but yeah.
What was the last little bit?
The real reality of things. That was the last part.
When you come, all right. So when you're saying that, like, with the real reality of things, are you saying in aspects of relationships or in general?
That seems in general.
It
That
seems
part of
Oh,
it seems in
okay.
general.
So
general.
definitely, yes, the reality.
It's
things.
like my answer has not changed.
But for the reality of things, yes, that's definitely has been a major factor with social media. Real love, no. I'm not.
Yeah.
I can't say social media has affected real love, because you can't affect real love.
If it's yeah.
You know what I mean? It's affected relationships, not real love. The thing is, though, social media has opened up the platform. It has opened up the world. It has opened the doorway to more options. You know what I mean? And a lot of people look at it that like, oh, you got way too many options. You doing too much. But it's like, why is that a problem?
What kind of options are we talking about?
People that you're dating.
In relationship.
In relationship.
relationships.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The
Back
internet
in-
does open up your options.
It opens up the
More
options.
access.
Right. And that's not a problem. Stop looking at it as a problem because somebody has more
This shit
options.
sounds hella personal.
It does. It is. think about
This shit sounds hella personal.
think about it like this, right? How many times have you got in a relationship with somebody that you thought was going to work out, but it didn't?
And why didn't it work?
Because you thought this was going to be the person, but you realized that, this isn't what I like, right? A lot of people got into young relationships and just been stuck with somebody for a long time because, one, I know this person.
Don't make eye contact with me, bro.
No, you're good. You're good.
thinking the
I
same
like
shit.
the example.
Okay, keep
It's just
going.
getting personal. But
Keep
go
going.
ahead.
Yeah, let's
A
do
lot
it.
of people been in relationships.
Say your name, bro.
It's not about anybody in particular.
No,
I'm
he's
just
fine. He's
I'm just
fine.
saying in general. I'm talking about other people's relationships where I've seen they got with somebody and they stuck with them just because of history and they haven't even tried anything else. I've seen people who get into relationship after relationship after relationship instead of just being like, you know what, I'm going to understand who I am. Because I got all these options. Let me figure out which one I really want to stick with.
So set your filters. Is what you're saying?
Set the filters. Figure out what it is that you don't like in a relationship. You don't have to do that in a relationship. You can date around for years.
Hey, didn't we just dog a nigga on the Reverb Nation for setting his filters?
Who was that?
That text where he was like, "I don't want. No, you can't have."
Oh, yeah, we
jail.
did.
Yeah, but they just. Yeah.
Well, see, everybody was tripping off. Yeah, remember the text message, the Tinder message. The Tinder message when
I feel
he's
like
in
that was just
was
the
a
wrong,
red flag.
That was the wrong platform to do it on.
No, Tinder?
Yeah.
No, that's
No.
not why people was dogging him. But
They was dogging him. They was dogging him for his height, and they was talking about he
It's definitely
put
dogging
too
him
much
for his
at the
height.
beginning and shit. But it's like, why is that an issue?
I don't
If
think-
you're
didn't-
setting a standard ahead of time, and it's like, look, this is what
Well,
this
the
is my
only reason
expectation.
I think that. Okay, keep going. We'll get back to that.
So-
that's a good conversation.
So, social media should allow people to realize, like, look, like, okay, I may like this, but I don't like this. I'm seeing this, and it's like, let me talk to this person. Let me get my options up so that way I can see who I want versus I just see somebody and it's like, oh, I found somebody else. And it's like, okay, I don't like this relationship. But if you're just observing a lot of people and you're like, you know what, I got more options, but I also have options to like, no. It's quicker.
Let me ask you a question. And I'm only playing devil's advocate.
Go ahead.
You just said that social media warps reality. But then you also said that social media opens up your options where you should be able to look and see what you like and what you don't like.
Mhm.
The people that, so if we're saying that reality is changed or altered, when you're looking for your options, if the options are altered, then does that not undermine your choices and who you're looking for?
No, because if you're actually looking to date somebody, you're going to get to know them. You're going to talk to them. You're going to chop it up with them. Just what they post is what everybody else is going to see, what they're putting out. But when you're actually dating somebody, you're actually sitting there and talking to somebody and get to know them.
Yeah, but what he's saying is that they are creating whatever narrative they want in the first place.
Right.
So how do you filter out from a bunch of creative players?
By talking to them, by getting to know them.
But you're
What
talking to
supposed
them
do-
based on
What you see.
what you see.
Right. You're starting off talking to them. There's an attractive level,
I
right?
agree- I agree
You're
with you.
you're
I agree with
I feel like
Right.
it's the same thing when you meet somebody in person. You're gonna talk to them off how they look, and then you get to know them and decide.
So we're all
Exactly.
we're all
If you
agreeing
actually
that it's all
like
off
it.
of how you
But
look.
But I would say from his example
that's the
that
starting point.
it does alter it because you have more options, you have more access. So I feel like people are moving differently because they have so many options now
Yeah.
with social media versus before when you had to be out and about the club, actually meeting people in person. You move different.
That's
when
true.
your options is the 5 people you done seen this week versus whoever. You could be talking to somebody from New York, whatever. Like you have all these different options. So I feel like it does. It changes the playing field for sure.
So what was the question though? But the question was, does it kill? Does it kill love? Is that what the question was?
kill real love,
Kill real
real,
love, okay.
relationships. And
I don't.
reality.
I don't. I don't feel like it kills. I don't feel like it kills real love, but I do feel like. I do feel like it's a little bit harder if you're single and you got a lot of stuff going on because you do have vastness now,
That's
right?
true.
And I do feel like the more value that people see in you, then I think that, like you said, your options become larger.
You get more, yeah.
Right.
Stock
So-
goes up.
Yeah. Well, you know, stock's pretty high over here.
You feel
But,
me? I mean, Amazon stock and shit.
You know what I'm saying? I might as well. Just wait till XRP hits.
Oh boy.
but
call me nasty.
but I don't think that it kills love, but I also think that what it does is it expedites the process of eliminating relationships. Does that make sense? Because I don't like how you act. Guess what? I got 500 more in my inbox. You know what I'm saying? So I do think that it does create challenges in relationships because everything is a microwave culture and you can have it instantly. You know what I'm saying? You can go out and you don't like how somebody acts or whatever, boom, boom, boom. I think that people who are already married are in the winning boat. To be honest, I think that you three are doing just fine.
Damn, man, we were bad guests. We didn't even let the guest go first.
Yeah,
It's
it's
all
all
right.
right, man. He's over here shaking his head like
Nah,
this
I'm
nigga spit.
I'm enjoying the whole experience.
And he's
man.
sipping tea.
He's enjoying the Reverb experience. Look at that. Add
really-
that
it's
in,
really
add
dope.
that in the commercial.
Wait,
We always think about
So
marketing.
what does Henny think?
I don't think it kills it. I think it can be distracting.
That's a
that's a
good
good
way.
one. Yeah.
I think you can get caught up in social media and with all the everything going on that it can pull you away and make it harder to find love sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because everything you could be anybody you want to be online.
You can
unfortunately.
be anybody.
But no, it doesn't kill it though. If you are really trying to have a solid relationship, then you'll do that. If not, then you'll allow yourself to fall into
Absolutely.
He
the
sounds
realm
just
of
like the
social
album.
media.
Bars.
You
Sounds just like the album.
Take it one way or the other. Either you gonna leverage social media to be a hoe, or you gonna use it to your advantage.
God damn, I didn't expect
you
that.
It's a
somebody
tool.
good.
I didn't
It's a
expect
tool.
that.
It's a tool.
Hey, yeah,
a tool.
you know what?
And-
If you want to be,
and it's really however you
if
want
you
to
want
use
to be
it.
a dirtbag, for sure, social media is it.
Exactly.
It's
So you
it.
can use it for either way. I think for me, I wouldn't say it kills it, but I feel like it alters the reality of real relationships because I feel like with the whole relationship goals,
The authenticity.
movement,
Oh,
right? And I feel like people don't really get to see the work that goes into maintaining a
You
relationship.
based your relationship goals off a picture.
Pictures. I was just about to say a relationship is more than just cute pictures.
Yo,
Come on.
I'm gonna
and
tell you-
vacations.
Yeah,
you know,
No,
No,
like,
yeah,
come on.
because I think if we're for the depth of it, I think that it gives men unrealistic expectations of women, and I think that it gives women unrealistic expectations of men.
I agree.
And I think that I think that what social media provides is a preface of fantasy living versus the reality of what you're living. So when you're on all these podcasts and all these women are like, I want a 6-figure guy, all I got to do is get my body done, that becomes a reality for them, right? But it becomes a reality to the extent of being chosen and being seen, but it doesn't become a reality to having a viable relationship that turns into marriage. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it teaches us a lot of ways to get instant gratification or to reach goals, but it doesn't teach us ways to that, like you said, real human interaction. After you've already done all this bullshit to get where you want to go, you still got to be the person to qualify as a job. You know what I'm saying? You know how like a nigga falsifies his resume and they get the job, and then you got to use Excel.
And then you find out
real quick that you're like, nah, nigga, you don't even know how to use Excel. You lied. You know what I mean?
I think people really like people try to base their life off the internet. Like they try to be what the internet is telling them they should be, and I'm like, okay, but what about your real life? Like, yeah, you may have all these people online that's co-signing you, but what about the people that you meet in real life? Are they getting that? You know what I mean?
Same
like
vibe,
that same vibe from you. Like, they going off a couple statuses like that you erased and rewrote and all of that. Like you had time.
Or no, that you copy pasted
like,
from somebody else.
Right. Cut that shit out.
I think that's I think we all kind of agree that's my stance. Is that we're the only generation, not only generation, we're the most recent generation that we lived before the internet and we're living during the internet. All the other generations going forward are going to just only know the internet. So we knew what it was like to be outside.
Right.
I knew what it was like where you had to actually go approach,
a chick,
talk to a woman,
and
actually have to use my own game and not have to, like you said, have 10 minutes to really doctor up a message and be like, you know, make sure this is I had to speak. Like you have to really, you know what I mean? So
come on.
I think
if you say some bullshit, then you got to own that.
Exactly.
Because you know what? Nowadays, I've had this happen before where you be out and about and you get home and somebody hit you like, I seen you at so and so, and then they talk to you online like, why didn't you come up and talk to me when you see me in person? You was too scared, but now you want to slide into the inbox
because you got all the confidence. So that's where I have the issue with is that
I hate when girls do
when
that
you
shit.
are dealing with like for instance, I think that catfish is probably the perfect example.
Bro, that's wellfish.
So, whatever you want to call it. Catfish is a perfect example where people are not okay with themselves to the point where they are creating a totally different personality to talk to somebody that they feel like that they may have a relationship with being loving. And back in the day, outside, if you didn't like how you looked, oh well, you still got to go outside.
Right.
Facts.
And we saw what you looked like.
And you had to do something about it in real life.
And you either had to have a bomb-ass personality or you had to make up for it somehow. But the bottom line is you had to deal with you. Now, I don't have to deal with me. I can do a filter. I can change some stuff around. I can take pictures. I can change the angles. I can do whatever I want to do to make it look like how I want to be. So that way, then when I do get in contact with you, we can talk for whatever. And then I'm hoping that because we have good interaction that you would just overlook all the other stuff.
And
it's like,
and
back
if you
in the day,
don't like it,
you can never.
You
do
could
it.
change that whole persona again and go reapproach that same person as a different individual. You could be as many people as you want.
Bruh, I just went through this. I posted online that we were casting people for music videos, and one of the people I met, we met up online. Totally different person. Totally different person. We get there in person. I'm like. They walk up to me like Rajeo, and I'm like, "Who? What's up?" I was like, "Yo, what's up?"
I feel like it ain't even just looks; it's personality.
But
because I know for me, I'm like people be like, "Oh, you so
for a
cool,
music
I
video,
want to
it's
kick it with
definitely
you."
about looks.
I'm like, bro, if we kick it in real life, you might think I'm like funny and outgoing. All that in real life, if I don't know you, I ain't saying nothing.
Right.
Like I gotta warm up to people, so people meet me and they be like. Damn, why she ain't talking? I'm like, I don't
because
know
I don't know you, nigga.
I'm the same way.
But to Photo B, and I want to say this before we move on to Photo B's point about people having more access. I think it does kill, and I'm not saying real love. I don't even believe in real. I think love, that makes it seem like that there's like fake love.
No, there is.
No, what I'm saying is, if it's love,
it's
then it's real. If it's not love, then it's just not love to me.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, though, I think it does kill, and I want to say love. I'll say relationships because the same way that you have you've expanded your options to find new people. The problem is that most people do that when they're in the relationship. And they'll start comparing what they have to, oh, you don't look like such and such. Oh, this person look like
You
this.
know
This
what?
person
I was
look
just
like
here
this.
because you're
Comparing
cool
it
as
to people's
personality.
persona online.
Yeah.
So, and it's crazy because I said that all the time where I'm like, y'all hyping up certain chicks, but low key, when you get her, she probably gonna be the same as the chick you
Bruh.
got. She just online,
Or
making-
worse.
or worse.
So
Like Brittany Rayner.
so
I'm a testament
look,
to that.
the only reason why it can kill anything is because expectations are wrong. Expectations aren't being met, and communication.
Is it wrong to have expectations?
No.
No, but if you
Not at all.
if you over there looking at the next yard instead of trying to water your own yard, then you about to be in some trouble.
I'll tell you what, bruh. I don't believe nobody looks like anybody. And I don't believe anybody is anybody until I see him and hang out with him. I wrote a post and several posts that said I will not like your stories because I don't know if it's you.
I just remember back in the day, the only way you can get a hold of somebody is if you call the house phone.
Big facts.
Nowadays, there's too much access to
I
everybody,
don't. I just don't. The
and it
options.
just leaves the opportunity.
He said options are vast, but honestly, like true options are very, very minimal.
Oh no.
No, you have a lot of options, but
Yes.
people actually being who they say they are, it's not a lot.
Yeah, but you don't know that until
Yeah,
you
that's the
already
problem.
have
That's
somebody.
That's the problem with having options.
And you were saying that, you know, the access we had to call on the house phone. I'm like, even I feel like in our generation, it got to where like you ain't even coming up and knocking on people's door. Like
Bruh.
you just, I'm outside.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah. That's how it's gotten.
It's so impersonal, bro.
Yeah.
No, it is not. And like I said,
And the
I
most
think we
personal
said-
you get is, are we having sex?
as
or
a
not?
dad, I remember as a child, everybody that called the house phone, they got it was a vetting process. Why are you calling? Who you calling for? Like when I used to call girl, I would anxiety would go through the roof, hoping that the dad don't answer the phone. I'm just like,
Facts. Every
I
time.
hope this girl, and I would even tell her at school, hey, look, I'm gonna call you at like 6:00. So you wait by the phone.
Right.
But back then the house phone, there'll be 2 or 3 house phones in it. So even if she answered the phone,
Somebody else could be on
Who's
that
this?
line. Yeah.
and I'd be quiet. Who's this?
For real. They ain't gotta go through that. They just hopping in the
And
DM.
the DMs, it's easy.
It's me.
They gotta do it.
It's me.
Voice all cracking, going
It's
through
me.
puberty.
Yeah.
This is Rob who?
Never.
I get mad at her. You didn't tell your dad.
No, for real.
We had to go through that.
Yeah.
It's
These
different.
kids ain't got to go through that.
And
Text
will
messages.
never
Right.
understand.
And you had to go talk to a chick in front of her friends.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
In front of her friends, bro. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, bro.
I mean, now it's still in front of her friends because she gonna screenshot it and send it to.
Oh, now it's
to
in front of the group chat.
Nah, but
And that's worse.
So technically,
Nah,
it's
it's-
still
Well,
It's-
and
it's
at the
hella
club,
different.
at
It's
the
hella
club,
different.
you still got to go through the group.
yeah.
Obviously,
Hell yeah.
we ain't been to the club because of the pandemic. He has. You still got to
Hell
go through the
yeah, I'd
group.
be out there. I'm
Hey,
photo
look,
B.
look, I said, I walked up to somebody the other day, and I was like, excuse me, hold on, I just want to let you know. I'm sorry, I want to interrupt y'all conversations real quick, but I just want to let you know. Hi, how you doing?
I want to let you know, hi, how you doing?
Yeah.
First off,
Already
hey,
fucking up.
hey, was it here? Was it here?
Zach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nigga, they already knew who you were.
And then if the chick really and one of the chicks in the group really wanted him, then she's like, "Oh no, you don't be talking to him. I've already heard about Photo B."
Well, who has
And then when he leaves, then hop in the DM.
So I know you was talking to my homegirl.
I
She
saw you
said
talking
she
to my
don't like
homegirl,
you. She said she don't like you.
but I do.
I'm like, damn, that's wild. And then just,
Hey, when's the last time you were rejected?
does getting flaked on get count?
Yes.
Yeah. Recently.
Yeah.
I'll say about like 2 weeks ago, I was on my way to go pick up a girl to go out and shit, and then she hit me up talking about like, oh my sister.
My dog ate my homework.
No, right. No, check out. What happened was this. Look, what happened was this. She was talking about like, oh my sister is acting up. She's not coming to watch the kids. I was like, damn. All right. So
the
I like,
babysitter
I'll go
line.
home and kick it.
Steph
and shit.
Dinette ain't never seen that. She don't date niggas with kids.
Nah. So next, look. So check this out. Next morning, I'm going through my stories. I'm going through stories and everything like that, and I seen that she was at the club. And I was like, wow.
You're out
I
of
was like, all
pocket.
right.
I would have put hella heart emojis right
The
under it.
audacity.
I was like, it's cool.
You know what? The girl for the
cold.
video, that I was.
Block it. Show you right there.
No.
Know your
I'm petty.
worth,
I'm
kid.
petty.
Know your
I'm
worth,
petty. ready because I know she's still watching shit. So I'm like, look, I'm gonna show you all the cool shit that I did. You missed out.
It's always
not my
the
fault.
sister or the cousin when you lying.
Every single time.
Every time.
Or my mom is in the hospital.
Come on.
I got a
Damn.
flat tire.
That's
Shame on you.
Jesus came back and we missed him. You didn't see? We missed Jesus. We
I was
wasn't
like,
praying.
alright.
You was the babysitter line,
Bruh.
Hey, with people that got kids, we got a built-in excuse. Whatever we do.
Yeah, my kids.
That's why I ain't date people with kids.
What you gonna say?
Look,
You can't wait.
if you invite me out,
How you
I'm
gonna-
using the kids.
You gotta at least
100%
not
of
be
the
on the
time.
stories.
You got
You gotta
exactly.
at least
Right,
not-
right.
But you know what?
Exactly.
She was like, "Fuck this nigga."
Yeah.
That's
That's
what
where
it was.
it's at.
See,
Yeah.
that's where it's
So-
at.
so
Yeah.
keep that same
know I
energy.
watch
Keep
your
that
shit.
same.
She did that
Because
on
you know what she
purpose.
gonna do? You know what she gonna do? She gonna try to hit you later.
Nah, it's all good.
The hell?
See, but what's funny is, but then
You gonna
they be the-
respond?
But then they
I
be the
don't know
same.
You a hoe?
But then they be the same. But then they be the same person talking about, I need communication.
Yeah.
That's the key to any
Bro,
relationship.
like, real, just let me
Communication.
know.
Bruh,
Like,
this
okay,
is,
what is-
hey, what
keep
do
it
you say?
real.
What do you say? The
Right.
meme.
That's
What do you
the
say?
key to
What do you say? The meme
communication.
army. The meme army. People worship memes, bro.
Oh yeah, the meme ministry.
The meme.
I mean, ministry.
That's like a Bible. They live by the memes, boy.
Ain't standing.
They think
Bruh,
that shit.
I be
is-
seeing,
Oh.
I be seeing people post memes. I'm like, bitch, you're nothing like that.
Yeah.
You're nothing like that. I know you in real life.
I feel like
It's a meme though.
people hide behind that.
They
Behind
do.
memes?
Yeah, definitely do.
Be yourself.
I feel like people hide behind that even like when they have issues with people, like they start
Oh
posting
my
hella
God.
memes
You know what they
about
do?
how they feel about
go
that
to
person
Google search.
and
They
just
be
hope
like,
they see
they
it.
be like memes about niggas who hurt you.
Hey,
And then-
hey, I'm gonna be real with
Hey, you
y'all.
know, there's like the meme dictionary and shit.
Is there?
I'm gonna
I
be real
wouldn't
with
doubt
y'all. That's how I would know if a girl was either single or going through shit.
Yeah, the
If she
memes.
just started posting hella memes or things about, oh, niggas ain't
Hey,
shit.
then you hit
Niggas
you hit
is
him like this, the Birdman.
That's when he hopping in there. Hey, yo, everything cool with you? Oh, no,
Hey,
I'm going
like,
through
yo,
it.
you
hey
good?
man, let's go get a bite to eat.
Hey, that's
But
me.
but they will
That's
post
me. You
those
good?
memes hoping that the person that they feel a way about see it.
See it. Mm.
And it's like,
It's all a trap,
Can
fam.
you, can you pick up the phone?
just come on
Text me.
now.
See,
It's
I be
all-
Tell
telling-
that
I be-
person how you
I be
feel
like,
and get off our timeline.
Yeah. You cluttering my timeline right now.
Right.
Get off LeBron James' internet with that bullshit.
Nah, 'cause y'all know what it is.
Yeah,
Y'all know
I be
exactly
liking
what
it.
it is.
I know somebody try to sub me. I like every single post.
Facts.
All of it.
Bruh, I love when like
And then I'll act stupid. I'm like, man, I feel the same way. That's facts.
yo,
Yeah.
I love when like I reject somebody or not go out with them, and then they start posting pictures of like they new nigga. Man, I just be loving them. I love it. That's good for you.
Nah.
And then that 2 weeks later, that nigga's off the page, and then I inbox him like, yo, what happened to Shorty?
There was this girl who posted at this point I'm single. I'm like, yo, what happened? She was like, oh, he was posting. He had a hidden story and shit like this. He had hit a story for me and they broke up and shit. I was like, damn. Next thing you know, birthday trip. They out in Hawaii. And I was like, and I double tapped that shit. I was
You're
like,
supposed to, bro. You're
job.
supposed to double tap it every time, bro.
Of course.
Every time.
That's how it always goes.
That's
Every
funny.
time. How people come back though now, like if they try to hit on me or whatever, I be like, nah, I'm good. You know, they'll be like, yo, but can I buy a cheesecake? That's the code. They be like, can I buy a cheesecake? I'll be like,
That's their way back
what
in
flavor?
right there.
I mean, I can't.
what's
I
your
can't
flavor?
tell you no.
You could.
What's your
No, I
flavor?
can't. No, I can't.
Depending
And I
on.
just have a delivery guy
I'ma
drop
take
it
that
off.
Speaking
gonna
of
be me.
LeBron James internet,
Woo! It wins again
the internet always wins.
every time.
Oh, hold on, we gotta get this. Internet always wins
It
here on the
always
Reverb
wins.
Experiment. So we're gonna pass it over to Steph.net to get into it.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, first and foremost.
I gotta get my cape ready. Go ahead.
First up on the docket, we got Dababy.
Who?
Child, Dababy.
The nigga that was wearing diapers.
Dababy has gotten himself in hot waters, and is he canceled?
Hold on, can we cancel the baby? Like we got Little Baby, Weezy F Baby,
Yeah.
Baby.
We don't need nobody else.
We don't
with
need no more
Baby.
named babies.
So are
Okay.
is he getting canceled? We gonna put
We
him in
got Baby
timeout.
Face.
That's the original baby, nigga.
Same shit.
That's the one we was cool with.
Yeah.
That's
hell
the only
yeah.
one we need to keep.
Oh, Michael
Rockin'
Jackson
with
right
Babyface.
ass, nigga. Oh, Michael Jackson right now. Let's
Rockin'
go.
with him.
We keep a Babyface, but all the other babies they could go, especially this one because, during his Rolling Loud set, I don't know if everybody seen it.
I heard a piece.
Did you hear it?
You got the clip? You got the clip
I got
ready?
the clip.
Are you gonna play
Let's
it?
just play the clip. Let's just play the clip.
I
And
need
even
to
though
hear
it's such a, we just gonna play the clip because that's the best way to explain
This nigga.
why they on his helmet.
Okay.
Damn.
He dropped the video.
He was on top too, like he.
He was doing good. I think he started stumbling when he had the whole altercation with Meg Thee Stallion after the whole Tory Lanez situation.
Okay.
Because he shot her in the feet,
Right.
and then she was on some songs with Dababy. I guess they had a working relationship. I don't know if they had a real friendship.
They was in the same freshman class, right?
Right, and
Yeah.
then he did a song with Tory Lanez, and then they got into it. And he was like, "It's music, blah blah blah. Like what y'all got going on ain't got nothing to do with me." And so that's where it started. I feel like that's where people kind of started,
This nigga wild, bro.
and then this just took it over the top. And not to mention, let's also add in that he did bring out Tory Lanez during his
Yes,
set,
he did.
and his set was after Meg Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
So I feel like that people were already on his head for that,
Yeah.
and then these comments came out, and it was
bad.
it was
All right,
bad.
I'm gonna go ahead and play it.
Run it.
He's so excited. He's so excited. Run it.
Transmitted diseases that'll make you die in 2-3 weeks. Put a cell phone light in the air. Lady, if you like water, put a cell phone light in the air. Fellas,
Lights up.
fellas, if you ain't sucking in the parking lot, put your cell phone lights in
Let's
the
be
air.
real about this.
Yeah, keep it real.
Hold on, I'm gonna play the beginning. I don't think y'all heard the beginning.
You didn't show up today with HIV, AIDS, any of them deadly sexual transmitted diseases that'll make you die in 2-3 weeks. Put a cell phone light in the air. Lady, if you like water, put a cell phone light in the air.
All right, then.
Hold on, I'm crying. This nigga's so fucking stupid.
So then he apologized, I
Yes.
guess, if that's what you want to call it.
Kinda.
Let's play the apology.
This internet shit one time, and I'm gonna get back to giving my love to my fans. See what I'm saying? Because what me and my fans do at the live show, it don't concern you niggas on the internet or you bitter bitches on the internet. It's not y'all business. You know what I'm saying? Like what I do at a live show is for the audience at the live show. It'll never translate correctly to somebody looking at a little 5-6 second clip from their goddamn crib on their phone. It just don't work like that. Like, because regardless of what you motherfuckers talking about, how the internet done twisted up my motherfucking word, me and all my fans at the show, the gay ones and the straight ones, we turned the fuck up. I'm talking about my boy that was at the front of stage left over there by where I jumped at. Ask him. He got clips all on his shit. The whole night was recording. We were turned the whole night. My boy had the crop top on, front row. Yeah, out there in that jungle, in that water. Yeah, he out there. He's standing on the rail, got them cutting up. He know words. I saw him. I'm rapping them bitches with him. Yeah, the hell y'all talking about? Y'all niggas, shut the fuck up. You niggas that ain't at the show. The show is for the niggas who paid the money and took the time out their life to come enjoy the show. Not you motherfuckers watching it on the internet at the crib. No, nigga, just get your tickets and come fuck with the live show killer, gay or straight. Don't let these motherfuckers hell. I say if you don't got AIDS, put a cell phone light up. I say if you don't suck dick in the parking lot, put your cell phone lights up. So I could drop my next song. I wasn't going on no rant. That's called a call to action. That's what that's called, because I'm a live performer. I'm the best live performer. I'm the live show killer. You interact with your fans. You get what I'm saying? Look, all the lights went up, gay or straight. You want to know why? Because even my gay fans don't got fucking AIDS, stupid ass niggas. They don't got AIDS.
My gay friends don't suck dick, guys.
Hold on, ain't no nasty gay niggas. You know what I'm saying? They ain't no junkies. You know what I'm saying? On the street, the hell you talking about, nigga? Then I said, if you ain't suck dick in the Rolling Loud parking lot, put your cell phone light up. You know what my gay?
All right, I'm
That
sorry.
hurt my brain.
So he was that was an explanation. Then the apology was it was on Twitter. He said,
that wasn't the
no,
apology.
that was him explaining. I'm
I
sorry.
thought that was
Okay.
an apology.
This is
too. I
the
was like,
apology.
God damn.
Anybody who done ever been affected by AIDS, and I'm gonna read it the way that he wrote it. AIDS/HIV. Y'all got the right to be upset. What I said was insensitive, even though I have no intentions on offending anybody, so my apologies. But the LGBT community, I ain't tripping on y'all. Do y'all business is y'all business. That was the apology.
What does that mean?
He apologized to the HIV community, to people that have been affected by HIV or AIDS, but it didn't seem like he was going to apologize to the LGBTQ. He meant to say Q, but
I just feel like it was just for what? Like, I know, and he was saying this for the people that's at the live show. It ain't for the people on the internet. But if I was at the live show and you said all the niggas who ain't sucking dick in the park, I'd have did the same thing. Like, what? Like,
Niggas be like, if you got more than $100 in your pocket, put your cell phone light up. Where did you come up with those calls to action?
Listen, on the East Coast, the HIV thing was a real like call to action, like from back in the day.
Oh, wow.
They used to always say that, because remember that HIV was a big thing. So if it was like, if you don't got HIV, but that was a different time, fam, when you could say crazy shit, and then people also hip hop was a different culture back then. You know what I'm saying?
There was no Lil Nas X.
There was no I'm a killer. That's basically what it is. Either you was a ladies man or you was a gangster back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So
accepted.
it was on word. And then
I just feel like this shit.
So for better context, so then that was to introduce his new song that he just dropped.
Yeah, the new song that he just dropped. Oh dang, do I got the line that he
I
said?
got the line.
Okay,
Well,
go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
With the line.
So on the video, he holds up a sign that says AIDS. So the line
he
was,
does, bruh.
it was, basically,
We ain't going
I'm
nowhere.
on your ass
Yeah.
and I ain't going nowhere like AIDS. Or he said, like AIDS, I'm on your ass and I'm not going nowhere.
That was the line in the song, so that's why he said
It was the
he
gay
had that call to
gay
action.
So they tied it
punchline
together
AIDS. He
somehow.
tied homosexuality to AIDS.
Somehow he thought that was a good call to action, which somebody from his team should have advised him that wasn't a good call to action.
I mean, only if you're gonna die in 2 to 3 weeks.
So then after that,
don't put yourself on that.
Which is highly incorrect information.
very
but
much incorrect. And then after that, he had some people that came to his.
We wrong just like they got rights to say we wrong.
This is Little Boosie. Those are my.
Well, he didn't put his foot in his mouth more than a couple times. Is that it?
And that's just real, bro. I don't care about that. You can take my page, you can't take my realness. Yeah, you can take my page, you can't take my realness. Yeah. You can't take my realness.
Damn, Woozy, what you gotta say?
That's all.
COVID.
AIDS.
Oh, that's not funny, bro. I'm not laughing at your AIDS jokes.
Why you laughing at the COVID joke?
clearly he high.
We got rights too. That's all. We got rights.
What is that?
We got rights too.
Rights to what? This nigga he should have had a hell of a sign this whole video.
For real.
He wasting our time. Why are we sitting here
Yeah, can we
listening
just
to
cut
him
it off?
breathe?
We're gonna try to get. I'm gonna let him.
We got rights too.
That nigga Kanye, I'm gonna let you finish.
We got rights too.
Was he driving?
Yeah, when he exploit himself, saying he gonna get naked, and we got the right to talk about it too. We got the right to say, sit your ass down. Just like y'all got the right to say when somebody say something, it's rights. Yeah, we got our rights too. Yeah.
All right, we gonna
Shit's
cut
just
off.
making me sleepy.
We gonna cut off Boosie. So he was referring to
Sound
Little
like white
Nas
noise.
X.
Huh?
Hella white
White
noise.
noise.
Well, the only reason that Lil Nas X came up in the conversation, 'cause obviously the baby didn't say nothing about Lil Nas
No,
X,
right.
but T.I. came to the baby's defense and basically said if Lil Nas X could put out his videos and do what he want to do and all of that, then the baby should be able to have his freedom of speech and say. But I don't feel like it was a good comparison.
No, because Lil Nas X ain't bashing the other side.
Well, that's
Right, you know what I'm saying? So when T.I. is the one who brought Lil Nas X in the conversation, then Boosie decided to jump in and all of a sudden he made it about Lil Nas X and how, his videos is, explicit and we worried for the kids and all, he made it about that. You know what I'm saying? He was saying, basically he said he shouldn't be doing that in front of boys
But what
that's
is-
trying to be straight.
Why do?
Yes,
Why
that's
do?
abusive.
Why
But
do?
you can't try to be straight.
Why do? Why
Either you is or you ain't.
But why do people always try to justify? Why do people always try to justify something they don't like with something else that they don't like, or a sin with a sin, or a bad with a bad? You know what I'm saying? Instead of just leaving it and talking about if you're gonna defend the baby, then defend the baby on what he did.
Lil Nas
That's-
X didn't have to be brought up.
He
Yeah.
nigga, and then niggas be mad, dumbass upset that we got to talk about Nas X. But then like the niggas who don't want to talk about him, it's always the niggas who want to talk about him.
And truly understand what freedom of speech means.
Right.
Come on,
Freedom of
explain it to
speech
him.
don't mean you can just say whatever the hell you want to say.
It's supposed to.
It's gonna be backlash.
It's
Yeah,
supposed
no,
to,
I
but
mean,
you
no,
gotta
you
get
can
back.
say
You can.
you can, but there's
should you say
consequences.
some of the shit that you
Consequences
say?
and repercussions.
The consequences. Yeah, you
Yeah.
have freedom of speech.
Yeah.
But you're gonna make enemies.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
talk too much.
And
And to compare the two, so one is offensive, the other one is just walking in his truth and making a statement for that way, so he can be
But what
accepted.
they're saying is he's offensive. That's what they're saying. So the baby was offensive, but they're saying so is Lil Nas X. That's basically what they're saying. That's why
That's
they brought
what
him
they're
up.
trying to say.
That's what they're trying
Yeah,
to
what
say.
they're trying
but
to
see, you gotta if you're gonna argue something, it's gotta be apples to apples.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's I don't necessarily like Lil Nas X, and I don't like his content, and I don't like a lot of shit that he does. But I'm not going out of my way to bash Nas X.
You just-
that's
you
not
just turn
my,
him off. You
that-
don't listen to
That's
him.
not
Right.
my prerogative is
Yeah.
to like whenever Nas X comes on and on the radio, I change the station.
it's not
That's
me.
the solution.
Right.
And that's your
that's
your
it.
freedom of choice.
Right. But I'm not gonna write 90 million fucking posts about how much I hate Nas X. I got friends that are gay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And all of us know people that are gay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if that's what you do, it is what it is. At the end of the day, that's between you and God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And my job is to love you regardless. You know what I'm saying? But when you go out of your way like the baby did, you know what I'm saying? The statement was to intentionally hurt the LGBT, I feel like.
Which is ridiculous, because I mean, let's take Lil Nas X. He's being himself, whether people like it or not. It's got him in a position to where he's
Now,
doing things. But Baby, on the other hand, who's at the height of his career as well, for you to pretty much diss a large portion of your fan base is stupid.
Well, and you're spreading false information.
That
You cannot say if you don't have HIV or AIDS and you're gonna die between 2 to 3 weeks. That is, for one, is spreading a stigma that is definitely not true. It's not based on no fact, no science, nothing like that. And what you're doing is for people that may not be educated. You're again creating that. We dealt with that with the whole Magic Johnson 92, 93, 94. That was 20 some years ago where we were uneducated on AIDS and HIV. So for you to repeat that, and in hip hop, that has been like something that has been just ongoing with with trying to tie homosexuals with HIV and AIDS.
Right, but they ain't the only ones.
They're not the only ones that's contracting it, and there's definitely treatments where people are living longer, healthier lives to the point where nobody's dying between 2 to 3 weeks. So that's like the whole sucking dick in the parking lot, all that other stuff. I had issue with the HIV/AIDS thing. That's what I did because again, it is homophobic, and then to double down on it and not apologize. Like he apologized in there, but it was in the explanation video. He said, "Oh well, if you're not at my show, then you just don't understand." No, we understand because we saw the video and we saw the clip.
that's
And
why
you
we're
the
laughing.
baby, and you being filmed everywhere you go, so you have to know that whatever you say is gonna hit the internet.
That's why we were laughing. I don't think it's necessarily homophobic. I don't think it's necessarily homophobic because there's women and men who have HIV and AIDS, but I do think it's ignorant as fuck.
Yeah.
But to tie it with the lyric said,
Yeah,
like
oh, yeah,
AIDS,
yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
stay on your ass, and I'm not going away. So again, it's
which is a horrible bar.
which is horrible for one,
Terrible.
horrible.
Here
But
we got two rap
but
analysts.
But in itself, that's homophobic because
Yeah.
what you're saying is
Yeah.
that gay men who have anal sex contract HIV and AIDS.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
no. And then too, I feel like people were trying to be like, he said, if you got HIV or AIDS, put your light up. And then he said, if you ain't sucking dick, so those don't go together. And I'm like,
What?
See,
okay.
and then
all right.
you can
and
be
then,
naive
and
and
then,
say that it don't. But
and then he didn't even say if anybody's not sucking. He said if men
exactly.
ain't sucking dick in the parking lot, put your lighters in the air. I'm sorry. I'm putting 2 + 2 together. It sound homophobic to me.
Yeah.
I can't agree.
But
I can't. I honestly cannot fully agree to saying that all we said was like connected and it being entirely homophobic.
But
reason why being saying is because like Rajeo said, there are straight people who have got AIDS and HIV, right? So that is not necessarily connected to. And if you remember, it wasn't one from AIDS, HIV, and then straight on to niggas sucking dick in the parking lot. There was a gap to where he was talking about if you got clean pussy and shit. There was a gap in there.
He said if your pussy smell like water. But then right after that, he said if you guys or dudes ain't suck dick in the parking lot, put your lighters in the air.
Right.
That's referring to homosexuals, right?
It is. But does that mean that's homophobic?
It's not homophobic.
That's not homophobic. He's not bashing anything for you being gay.
If you haven't sucked dick in the parking lot,
right.
Put your lighters in the
That
air.
doesn't mean
And
you're
then
scared
the
of
bar.
that's not homophobic.
No, hold on. And then the bar that says, I'm on, like HIV or AIDS, I'm on your ass and I'm not going away.
Because he said himself that was his segue into
that song.
Right.
But that doesn't mean so you're saying he's homophobic, but he said he did his whole show with the gay guy in the crop top.
I said that's a homophobic comment.
I don't feel like I feel like it's gay bashing. I don't feel like it's homophobic.
That's
same shit.
I still don't.
You can change the word if you want to.
I honestly don't think that's gay
Phobia
bashing
like
either.
he's scared.
I honestly don't think it's gay
No,
bashing.
and it's not even about being scared. It's about seeing somebody in their existence as a threat to whatever. Maybe not a threat to you, like, oh, they're gonna physically hurt you, but a threat to what people say, they kids, society, or the media, or whatever.
Yeah,
the phobia is not necessarily physically being scared. It's seeing someone.
Homophobia means
as a threat.
dislike of or prejudice against gay people. That fits.
Phobia.
But people always want to go on that word phobia, like, I'm not scared of
I
them.
think you guys are getting caught up on the root of the word. Homophobia itself, I just read the definition. Dislike or prejudice against gay people.
I still feel like I feel like it's trash, and he went out of his way to make trash comments. At the end of the day,
Overall,
right?
Overall,
at the end of the day,
you get canceled and you had that comment.
He's
You
not
should've
getting
thought
canceled.
about that.
He's not getting canceled.
He's not gonna get canceled, and it doesn't warrant a cancel. I feel like it warrants.
To
more
you,
of
it doesn't.
No,
But to a lot of people, it does.
but listen. Like
To me,
I
it
don't
doesn't
like.
either.
It's more of like a face palm. This nigga dumb. Somebody to teach him some shit.
It's not a learning experience because we've done this too many times.
Who has truly
right, we've done
gotten
this.
canceled?
No one.
though?
Yeah, nobody.
R.
That's what I'm
Kelly?
saying.
Okay,
They-
well,
Not even R. Kelly. They still playing that shit on the
He's the
karaoke
most-
box.
he's the
Okay,
most
but
canceled.
think about it, though.
Singing that nigga.
He's been
But
the
think
most
about it.
canceled.
What do you consider canceled? Like
Right.
there's always going to be people that still listen to or still partake.
You got the
but,
Chris Brown and
but
people
when
who
you
have done shit.
but,
That
but
Tory Lanez
exactly,
ain't
but,
canceled.
what
on the mainstream level.
on the main boohoo he lost his boohoo contract. Like, what endorsements is Chris Brown really getting? What shit is he really getting invited to? Nothing. But people still listen to his music. That's all he
which
got.
is all he needs,
But
though.
I mean, you could say that, but again, you are canceled in a sense that you can't be blackballed in the industry. You
Canceled,
still
I
gonna be
think
able to
that
do
Chris
something.
Brown's
certain aspects, but maybe just because he might have lost some endorsements, he's
not
don't mean he ain't
canceled.
got none.
Especially when
Yeah,
you're doing 10, 15, 20 million streams a month.
Yeah.
That new checks is huge.
Yeah, I think anytime that Elton John, Madonna, Questlove, all these people come out and say that you were wrong, you were wrong.
Wrong is
See, but the problem with him is, and it's not a teaching moment because he hasn't
not.
learned nothing.
No.
Because even after
He
Questlove,
should already know.
After Questlove came out and said something, then he was like, I don't know who Questlove is.
Questlove was playing
Who
for
we
him.
talk about, the baby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Questlove was playing for him in a performance.
Well, and Questlove is in the roots. Who doesn't know who Questlove is? And even if you don't know who he is, the same phone that he was telling people to put their lighters up, nigga, Google him.
Honestly, he don't give a damn. And
Like,
he doesn't.
I don't want
He
to hear
doesn't.
about this a learning experience
doesn't.
when we
It's
clearly
not.
know he don't give
It's
a
not.
damn.
It's not a learning experience because, like I said, I got lifestyles and stuff that I would do. I don't like murderers. You know what I'm saying? We just talked about how I don't like deadbeat dads.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I just don't associate with deadbeat dads.
It
But-
could have been a learning experience
from who? For who?
for him. It
No,
could have. No,
it could-
it.
Bruh.
I said it could have been. But
Not
he
with
has,
his mentality.
He is toes down,
standing
and
his
he's
ground.
not backing down from it.
Listen.
and he's made other comments saying
But
that.
how many times do you have to do we have to see a nigga learn from this, bro?
No, I'm just saying that it could have, because let's be honest, there's other people that think just like he does.
There's a lot of people that think like
that
he
think
does.
worse. Look at Boosie, like, and that was crazy to me when Boosie spoke out because it's like, you so homophobic. You had your own son molested.
Yeah.
on purpose to keep him from being gay. So it's like we knew you was coming to
we
say
know that
something.
psychologically.
Come on.
Well,
That's horrible.
And
Terrible.
don't say, oh man, because the kids might see it. And talking about Lil Nas X, the kids might see it. Bruh, you had your whole Instagram taken away for having strippers on your IG live multiple times.
Not to mention it
So
was
you
funny
don't-
that he
so-
It's
it was funny
heterosexual
that he
stripping,
said
though.
that he was
Right, so he thinks that that's okay.
But he said it's about the kids. It's about the kids. They worried about the
It's
kids.
not about the
And
damn
they was,
kids.
You was worried about Lil Nas X video, and then the baby dropped the video for the song.
And he's getting
Went
head in
that
the
bar
video.
And he getting head in the kitchen.
And the gun shooting
And the-
people.
come on, bruh.
The AIDS.
And he's
come on.
smashing the old lady.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like,
No.
it ain't about the kids. It's
No.
about the fact that you just homophobic.
And Boosie, that's why your Instagram account keeps
It's
on getting
gone.
taken away. And T.I. too. T.I. was in the same boat.
T.I.
That's Mr. Hyman
about
himself.
Your allegations. Shoot. Are you worried about
Just sometimes you just need to be quiet.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to be. And I say this off here, and I'll say it again. We need to bring back publicists, please. Bring back publicists.
They're too expensive.
Well,
worth the money.
losing your endorsements is damn expensive too.
People
it's-
that monitor what you say until you don't go out there and make an ass of
That
yourself.
speak for you.
It's
Yeah.
less
Yeah,
publicist.
yes.
It's more of PR. Probably the same shit.
Yeah, it's
And
the same.
social media campaign, whatever.
Yeah,
Like social media manager.
They should be managing that shit.
they
But
should.
being as though, but the thing is though, like we realize that when it comes to how much fan interaction is serious, especially being as though last year everybody was going live.
Yeah.
People love that. Like people love to see you how you are.
Really are.
So people are going to be addicted to like I'm gonna put that shit up.
Man,
like
maybe more
Boosie.
popping this week
But
than he's been in a long
unfortunately-
time.
I mean, unfortunately, it doesn't work in some artists' favor because who they really are is trash. So then it'd be like, damn, like, yeah, going live and being accessible on your Instagram or social media could be good, but it's not good for the people that's trash because people really getting to see. Like I told y'all, like, the internet ruined Tyrese for me. I used to love Tyrese, and then you get to see who they really is.
Tyrese ruined Tyrese.
And
for
I'm
you.
like,
What more do you want from me?
I want a lot more Tyrese. I want better character. I want better personality.
Man.
And, you know what I'm saying? I don't want you
But
crying.
you know what? But in a sense, it's
You know what
good
I'm
because
saying?
now I get to see who's trash and who's not.
yeah,
Back in the day, there was a mystery.
it was.
The only time
the
you would hear
mystery
from
was
an artist.
the mystery was better.
The
I
only
just
time,
like your music.
but that's what I'm. But now I know who I'm supporting.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you would have to go to a Vibe or Source magazine to read the interview,
Yep.
or you would listen
And
to
that
maybe
can
on like
be
the radio.
fabricated.
And yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, does her pussy taste like water or not, Photo B? That's the real question.
I'm done.
Who's?
But yeah, so I don't think he'll be fully canceled because nobody
I
has
don't
ever
think
fully
canceled.
Yo,
canceled.
he's popping.
I don't
He's got
Go
people that are
pull up
rocking
his
with him
video. Go
regardless.
pull up his video right now. Let
gon-
me pull up his video right now.
Well, you know what?
And
And
probably
as,
trending.
as a separate conversation, the other reason why I don't like cancel culture is because usually it's not us doing the canceling.
No.
It's usually white women and it's usually black men, and you don't have a say so in our culture on who's canceled and who's not. Just because they offended you, it wasn't for you. Now, I'm not saying what he said. That's a totally different conversation. We should definitely hold him accountable. And you either, but I think that's a personal thing. You either support somebody or you don't. Because I can argue with somebody till they blue in the face about R. Kelly. If you want to support R. Kelly, whatever I say to you, you're going to find a way to support him. Because if you are still supporting him to like with all what you've heard and all what you've seen today, and now with the new allegations that he had sex with a teenage boy or a couple
like you
teenage
for
boys,
this one.
and they're
They're
gonna
not
bring.
gonna
I don't
like
care.
Yeah, that's the newest.
If
Yeah,
you
two of 'em.
if you still are supporting him now, there's nothing I can say.
But you got to separate the music from the artist.
No, this gonna be the one for R. Kelly.
You think so?
Finally.
It's
Because
gonna take
if
him.
motherfuckers is one thing, they is homophobic. So
Hey,
this might be the one for him.
I don't know, man. If
damn
you're
right.
okay with R. Kelly
on.
having
If
sex
you
with
ain't
little
canceled
girls,
him yet, and this is what
probably
makes
not
you
gonna
cancel
count.
him, you tripping.
Hey, listen,
Come
you
on
should
now.
join the Reverb Nation page so you can see how in depth this argument gets, man. There are people who, and this is what I was talking about earlier. They justify wrong with wrong, right? You still like Michael Jackson, and he did this. That doesn't mean that what Michael Jackson did was okay,
No.
and it doesn't mean what R. Kelly did okay just because you say Michael Jackson did it.
And it wasn't proven. See,
And
and that's the other conversation that we always have.
They don't wanna
is
have those
That
conversations.
you still need to leave room for people to go. I mean, obviously, you can be still guilty and go to court and still, you know what I mean. Like sometimes the court doesn't do it, but if I can make a personal decision on who I don't support and who I don't. Like Tory said that too. He said, "Oh, y'all be too confused because y'all pick and choose who you want to support it." Because that's my
Right.
personal
That's
decision.
my- that's my
my
right.
personal. I choose not to support R. Kelly. I still listen to Michael Jackson
Right.
because the facts that I saw when he went to court, it seemed like that it was not conclusive. So that's my
I
personal
have
decision.
a confession. I like the Tory Lanez album.
That's fine. That's
I do.
that's whatever you want. That's your personal decision.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I can't.
if he gets convicted, then I'll.
See,
check it
and my stance was I'm not supporting Tory until I get all the facts.
Right.
So I'm waiting to hear what's going on.
Right.
If he's innocent, hey, I'll play your album. If the facts come out show that he didn't shoot Meg, but
You
from
know,
what,
you know why? I'm like this because when I went to jail, they put it on my record, and I couldn't get a job even before I went to court for 2 years, and I couldn't get a job because of an allegation.
No, and trust
You
me,
know what I'm saying?
I
So
totally get it. But with
that's how
all
I view it.
but with all the information I got from that situation, I'm holding off pause. It looks like that he did it. Sounds like he did it. All the evidence points that he did it. Until it's concluded, then hey. But until then, no, I'm not listening to your album, bro. I'm not. And again, that's my
No, and
I would never
I
tell
agree.
somebody not to. I'm not personally doing it.
Well, I agree. I'm not mad at what anybody's doing except for R. Kelly. That's it. It just doesn't make any sense.
There's
to
an
me.
abundance of evidence that proves that he's.
It just doesn't make
so.
it doesn't make any sense to me to hate everything that's evil, and then the embodiment of everything evil is in one person. But he makes good music,
Yeah.
so we
I
still
ain't with
fuck
that.
him.
All right, so we're gonna go on to the next topic.
Ooh, next up, we got Miss Simone Biles.
Man, just play Henny's album, bro.
Man, they did her so wrong.
Yeah, they did. They did.
done it
They
so
did.
wrong. Like
They
how
did.
you gonna tell people to come out and do your best? It's like, hey, your best is kind of dope as fuck, but nobody else can do that shit. So let's go ahead and just knock your points.
Knock your shit down. a
Like,
little bit.
you mean to tell me you want me to come out here, bust my ass, and you telling me I'm doing so damn good that nobody else can compare what I'm doing because they might hurt themselves, that my points are being deducted?
Yep.
I'm gonna be real with you.
You ain't.
We don't deserve her. We don't
That's
deserve
real.
her.
Okay.
Because like, think about it, like you want to, like, she's going through all this mental, physical endurance to do this, to be the best, and she's being the best. Why invite me out?
Facts.
Why ask me to come out and show out for my country what things that nobody else can do and then tell me I can't do it?
Facts. If
That's
she was
real.
white, they wouldn't have done that.
Educate me on what.
Let's get
what's
context.
being-
Yeah,
Yes, go
let's
ahead.
get
I'm
some
sorry.
context.
So Simone Biles, as we
Gonna
all
be
know,
hot.
she's one of the greatest gymnasts that has ever
No,
lived.
she is the greatest.
Well, you're right. She is the greatest. But basically, what they told her was that her moves were so complex that anybody else that attempt them would possibly hurt themselves. So they were going to score her lower. They weren't going to basically give her the full credit
Yes.
for her moves.
Yes.
Because they wanted to discourage other people from trying them. So basically, like, okay, I'm the best, but you're not going to score me as the best because nobody else can do it.
It's a crock of shit.
You know,
Ain't it?
you know why this is trash as fuck?
Well, hold on. And then, so we got to get more context. So then, when at the Olympics, she pulled out of an event
She pulled out of the group, the team.
at the team event.
Yeah.
Because of those.
And then,
stipulations?
as of later, then she pulled out of the individual ones
Yeah,
as well.
but she pulled out the team. She pulled out the team event initially because they said it was a medical reason, but it wasn't an injury. But from what she said is that she had what they call the twisties, which is in gymnastics is where you basically can't tell up from down. You can get lost in the air. So when she was warming up, she was like, "I ain't got it. I'm out." And everybody was on her head. Like she quit on her country. She quit on her team.
Is this before or after they gave those stipulations?
This is after the stipulations.
Come on.
And I'm kind of like,
You didn't
I
stand up
mean-
for me
She
and
could
fight
have
for
been
my
in her
shit.
head though, like
right.
you know.
yeah.
But,
And
but
then let
like,
me,
like, right, like, how can you expect somebody to come out, do their best and shit, and then
Well, look at the X Games and Travis Pastrana, right? He does all this death-defying stuff, and he does all these things that no one else can do, and he can die every time he tries it, right?
Yep.
And nobody ever says, "Hey, Travis, we're gonna score you lower because if anybody else tries this, they're gonna die." What they say to him, his competition is, "You guys probably should step it up so you can keep up."
that's what they should do. Like, what's the point of having the Olympics if everything has to be equal? Like, what you mean? We're gonna start.
We live in 2021.
Right. What you mean? We're gonna start
You
doing
supposed
the.
you supposed to be the best of the world. That's what you come here
Yeah,
for.
but
Right.
see-
What you want to do? Like, make people go. Like, nah. Like, you going too a little bit too fast in this 100-meter dash. You showing beat people by like about half point a second. Slow it down a little bit. You know what? At this point,
Make
let's go
it
ahead and just
fair.
walk around with the arms locked in and cross the finish line. So we're
They
all
had that
winning and
mentality,
shit.
they would have never made it into the Olympics.
Never.
Exactly. In the first place.
I came here to
I
be
wouldn't
the
even
best.
want to compete. I wouldn't even want to compete if they were telling me that I was having a handicap.
Yeah.
Right.
I wouldn't even want to. I wouldn't.
But
even
I'm
wanna
saying,
compete.
like, that could have played a toll on her mental health and the twisties or whatever came
No,
out
I
of it.
mean,
I'm
if
not
I was
saying
the
that's what
other-
caused it.
if I was the other participants and I heard that Simone Biles is being scored less to help me, I wouldn't want to compete.
Right.
Yeah, y'all basically grading on a curve.
Which facts.
Yeah.
Well, if
Pretty
she does
much.
well,
Yeah, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play from her own words.
I just felt like it would be a little bit better to take a back seat, work on my mindfulness, and I knew that the girls would do an absolutely great job, and I didn't want to risk the team a medal for kind of my screw-ups because they've worked way too hard for that. So I was trying at 2.5, and I ended up doing a 1.5. Just got a little bit lost in the air, which is really unfortunate, especially to have a score like that go up there for the team. I feel like I robbed them of a couple of tenths, and we could have been a little bit higher in the rankings. I was like, I think the girls need to do the rest of the competition without me, and they were like, I promise you you're fine. We watched you warm up, and I said, no, I know I'm going to be fine, but I can't risk a medal for the team, so I need to call it. And you usually don't hear me say things like that because I'll usually persevere and push through things, but not to cost the team a medal. So they were like, okay, well, if Simone says this, then we need to take it pretty serious. And so I had the correct people around me to do that.
It's very hard to lose a teammate, especially at the Olympic Games. So
I'll let her run.
Because we were going through so much. We were very stressed, put a lot of pressure on ourselves, but we ended up coming back.
We're fighters. We fought through this whole competition as a team and not as individuals, and that's what we needed. And like Suni was saying, at the end of the day, like, no matter what happened, we were just proud that we were able to do what we were doing with losing somebody that's so great. It's been really stressful, this Olympic Games. I think just as a whole, not having an audience, there are a lot of different variables going into it. It's been a long week. It's been a long Olympic process. It's been a long year. So just a lot of different variables, and I think we're just a little bit too stressed out. But we should be out here having fun, and sometimes that's not the case. I say put mental health first, because if you don't, then you're not going to enjoy your sport and you're not going to succeed as much as you want to. So it's okay sometimes to even sit out the big competitions to focus on yourself, because it shows how strong of a competitor and person that you really are.
That's
There you
facts.
go.
I mean, I like the fact the team's supportive of it and everything,
as they should be.
as they should be.
No, for real.
The fuck the committee.
But a lot of people were saying, you know, press through and then take care of yourself after. And no. Like, no. And I think too, like, I think people are trying to put themselves in her shoes, and you can't.
No.
You ain't a competitor. You ain't the top gymnast in the world. You don't know what goes into it, and you don't really understand the risk that they're taking with their bodies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I say that all the time when, my husband be watching football, and he be like, he could have just, like, bruh, you can't do that. You think somebody could just, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Coach D-Lo can do all things.
bruh,
to
the
Christ.
things that these people is doing with their bodies and putting their body on the line, like, they risking paralysis. They risking everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're not in there, you're physically in their shoes, ain't no what you would have did. You can't even walk up the stairs without breathing hard. So
I feel like this, man. Simply put, man, with all the emphasis on mental health, at the end of the day, if someone is expressing that they don't feel mentally up to the challenge, or they need time to decompress and gather their thoughts or whatever, that should be the end of the conversation.
Yeah.
Right.
Period.
You as much as we talk about how we need to be able to have a safe space to talk and this and that and the third, I feel like I could see it both ways. I could see how people, especially black people, are like, yo, it's another chance for us to shine, right? You got us on your back, whoop de whoop whoop whoop. And she's been holding it down for years. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like we weren't gonna win anyway. But I feel like the conversation could have been dead at, you know, mentally I'm just not up to it, and you know I need to take a break, because when you see everything, when they're forming everything against you, then it does. It puts you in a different headspace. It just is what it is, bro. I feel like she needs the same grace that everyone else. And the pressure that she has is not like regular pressure. It's United States pressure.
It ain't.
I agree.
Most people have to just do it for a couple of people. She got to do it for the whole country.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was kind of floating around the internet. I'm not too sure if you guys remember, but in '96, Carrie Shrug, they were comparing that to her, basically saying that she could tough it out. So basically, in that '96 Olympics, she was vaulting, and on the first vault attempt, she sprained her ankle like really, really, really bad. And basically, they pushed her to continue and to still do it because they were competing for gold. So she ended up doing the second vault, and she did it with one foot because she was sprained on the other foot. And they had to carry her off. Like, there's this famous picture with, like, the coach carrying her while she's carrying the gold. And basically, she never competed after that ever again because of how serious that the injury was.
It's horrible.
They were saying, they were trying to compare it, but they were like, but she was never able to compete again. She was like, so because she was forced to compete and try to take one for the team, now her whole gymnastic career is over at 18 because she took one for the team. So yeah, did it seem heroic? Sure. But was it what was best for her in the long run?
I don't know.
No.
Yep.
It was what was best for Team USA,
Yeah.
but it wasn't what was best for her. And we see that a lot, where it's, oh, just take one for the team, take one for the team. And it's like, yeah, because it's in your best interest.
Yeah.
I might be helping you, but I'm hurting me.
Right.
So I applaud her for taking the time out. And other gymnasts said that basically when you have a mental block like that, it's like a fish out of water, where you, again, like when you're jumping or you spinning, like you don't know where you're at. Like, so that's extremely dangerous, where it may not have just been a sprained ankle. It could have been a torn ACL, torn meniscus, whatever. You know what I mean? Head injury, neck injury, spinal injury.
No.
So who are you to tell her what's best for her? She know, and she even said in that clip, if I'm saying this, she said, then it's probably serious.
Yeah.
And she's the best of the best, gold medals, whatever. It just showed me how quick people will turn on you based on your performance.
Yeah.
Yep.
That their tolerance for you is based on your performance. And black people, we have the shortest fuse when it comes to that. And we see it in sports all the time, where you might have like an outlandish athlete or outspoken athlete, and as long as you're performing, all right, I'm gonna let you ride a little bit. But as soon as you slip up, get him out of here. He's a cancer, he's a this, he's a that. I mean, we saw that with Terrell Owens, right? As soon as the production started kind of dipping a little bit, I mean, you would hear it every now and again, but nope, get him out. He's a cancer, he's loud, he's this, he's that. So they always want black people to be a certain way, and if we don't fit in that box, then if either we're not performing or if we don't fit to what your social standard is, then you're out of here.
Yep.
And there was, I think the Texas Attorney General called her a national embarrassment.
And how many gold medals do she got? It's like,
what?
come on now, stop. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. That's the thing that irritates me about the conversation about mental health, because it's exactly that, just a conversation. People are not about really putting it into
play.
Into play.
action.
Like when
Well,
it's time
yeah,
to put it into action, and
Yeah.
it's time for people to
Yeah.
take time for themselves, and it's time to really, and it's inconvenient for you.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden it's like, oh no,
Well, that's
no mental health ain't that important to inconvenience me.
That's what I said. The conversation should have been done at mental health, right? If with all the stigma, I did make a statement earlier that we see so much on mental health now because there's money involved, right? So as long as there's profit, the media will say, hey, this, and this, and we'll push this, and we'll push this.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's about bucks. It's about money. You know, winning gold medals for the United States is endorsements, future endorsements, which is cool. Simone is still top tier, top of the game, right?
The
But
yeah.
it also gave the other young lady a chance to get some of that endorsement.
Exactly.
Right.
You know
And
what
the
I mean?
team stepped up and they still won silver.
You know what
So
I'm
it's
saying?
like, I this is what I want to say coming from this, and even from the previous conversation about the homophobia, whatever. we got to stop waiting for things to happen to have the conversation. We need to start having the conversation proactively. And for black people, and this goes all across the board with healthcare and all that, we are perceived as being stronger, being faster, being this, being that. So when we are really hurt, people like, oh, no, he ain't really hurt. Oh, no, he can get up. He can keep going.
That's lifelong.
He can get, oh, man, shake it off. Shake it off. And so it's like,
put some water on it.
if you feel like you ain't right, or if you see your brother or your sister going through something, just trust them for what they say. You know what I mean? Or and be more open and be more have more courage to speak up for yourself, because you can only advocate for yourself.
And check on your strong friends.
Absolutely, because it's more.
Hit me in the DM.
It's more prevalent for me because when my wife gave birth, it was like, oh, I don't think it's that bad. Whatever. And I had to advocate for her because the doctors and the nurses weren't checking on her, every so often, every regular, and I had to go off on them.
Straight up.
And I already told y'all this story before. I had to go off on the doctor because I was like, we asked him to come in and talk. He didn't want to come. I was like, you don't want to come? I said, we have questions. She's in pain. He's like, oh no, because she's not a certain she's not certain far along in her pregnancy or in her delivery that I don't need to come and talk to her.
Unacceptable.
I got up. I said, no, bro. I said, this is her first time giving birth. She's never gone through this. I said, as a doctor, you are supposed to be there for her. Yeah. And I said, so instead of you sitting out here talking to all these nurses, I need you up in that room.
Straight up.
And then he was like, oh, you're being hostile. We're going to call the police. I said, you can call whoever you need to call. I said, the bottom line is my wife's in pain. You need to go in there. I said, if y'all want to call security, call security. And I said, now I'll firmly explain to them that I'm advocating for my pregnant wife. And I said, if they want to take me in handcuffs, then so be it. Then it got real quiet.
All you ever have to do is call the boy Rash.
And he said, "Okay, I'm gonna go in there and talk." I said, "Please do." I said, "Because she's in pain." And I said, "You're not a woman, so maybe you don't understand that." I said, "I'm not a woman either, but she's telling me she's in pain, so go in there and check on her." And he's like, "Well, I thought we were clear." I said, "She told me that she's not." I said, "So even if you thought, we're not." So just go. You know what I mean? So that has to be the energy that we have with her. If she's saying she can't compete, her whole life is dedicated to competing. So if she pulls out, something's wrong.
Right.
Yeah. That's what somebody asked me. They was like, well, somebody who deals with, mental health and anxiety, like, what do you think? I was like, I think that I trust her to know herself and know her limit.
Right.
It ain't about what I think. It ain't about what I feel. I trust her to know what she need and what she need to do, period.
And they're going to talk about, if that was me. You ain't done a cartwheel since 1962.
I can still do a backflip, so I'm happy about that. But I'm gonna say,
I got on the trampoline and jumped a little bit and almost took my knee out.
I'm gonna say what I said again, bro. At the end, she's such an expert and a professional. I can't go because my mental's not in it and I don't want to get hurt. Boom. That's it.
Story.
Period.
That's it.
I wouldn't even try to do a backflip into a foam pit.
I told you I was on that trampoline.
Dojo.
And I almost
lost it.
Almost lost it.
And you gotta applaud her. She supported her teammates after that. Mm-hmm. She was clapping, hugging them on the sideline because a lot of people would be, upset, sore, with a wit in the back, not came back out because they're not competing.
And then my thing is this: she could have faked like she had an injury and avoided all this backlash.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Come on now, she could have just said, I tweaked my ankle, but no, she kept it real.
Her leg was wrapped afterwards, and she could have just rolled with it, said that I'm hurt, that I'm injured, and I can't compete, and then she would have. She wouldn't have got any of that backlash. It would have been, she's hurt. But she, like you said, she's a woman of character, and she said, I'm not hurt. This is not an injury. It's my mental health.
Not even just that, but it's like when it comes to, especially now when it comes to everybody talking about how important mental health is, you wouldn't expect anybody to give her backlash.
Yeah, you would.
No, everybody's been talking about mental health.
I understand what he's saying. That is such a priority now in our society. That you would think that we would have gotten to
only
a place.
when it's beneficial for someone else.
That's
I told you when it starts to get inconvenient, people don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Who's she really inconveniencing?
Team USA.
Team USA.
All right, but how many of us really care that much? Nobody's. Who's are we invested into it?
The Caucasians. Man, they was highly upset.
Fuck them.
Yes.
Well, no, it's not just Caucasians because there was some black people that was talking about it too.
Them too.
Hella black people. All right, said
her and Shakari.
All right,
Shakari.
Shakari.
Oh, we don't want to talk about.
They was down her throat.
We're out of two.
Well,
You
black
guys
people-
were disqualified.
okay,
You guys, one of y'all was disqualified. The other one was.
But think about it though, black
Here
people.
we go.
We're not even gonna
Black
talk.
people take on.
But it was tied to mental health, though, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah,
It was. It
so
was
so
awesome.
she should have the same grace.
Yeah.
No, but
Right?
this is the thing. Black people, we don't really offer each other grace because we always look at it as you represent us. You making us look bad. Like
is us.
that's how we look at it.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
Ain't
So
it
when
us?
when
That's
other
true.
black people
Ain't
make
it us?
mistakes, we're not quick to give them grace because we look at it like it's that secondhand, like Monique with the secondhand embarrassment. You worried about what somebody else is doing because you feel like it's representing you. They represent themselves.
Right.
No,
They are
it does.
individual.
And
No.
we've learned from the oppressor.
No, it does represent
Yeah.
all of us because those white people start treating us all bad.
No, they treat you bad either way.
Right.
That's why
true.
I'm saying, like,
That's true.
none of that works. So it's like, oh, if you do this, you act this certain way or whatever, as you see, they still gonna drag you.
Right.
Well, that's the respectability politics. Even she's a gold medalist, best of what she does. She was still treated like shit when she didn't feel like that she could compete.
When she's not, again, performing for them.
That's what,
Or
tolerance
fitting in it, yeah.
versus performance. That's what I'm telling you. And we have a short stick. Speaking of short sticks.
I don't like that transition. Does that make me homophobic?
Here we go.
Here we go.
I had to ask it. It was there.
He want to be canceled with the baby so bad. If you want to be canceled, just say that.
Let
He's,
that
lucky,
man
he's
be
lucky
over
that
there.
I don't do.
Let him be in
I
his
don't
own
do
land,
the
man.
colorist jokes no more. That was just loaded. But all right, man. So we gonna get to the trash list, man, so we can let y'all go.
Oh, is that what we're doing right now?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Go ahead, man.
Hey, so the nation has spoken. Right?
Well, yeah. So we're doing a new thing
Yeah.
where we are allowing the nation to vote for who they believe is trash as fuck. So the options were.
Hey, first off, this nigga took my poll statement off of all the above.
I didn't take it off.
Yeah, you didn't? You
No,
let it?
I didn't delete
Oh, that
it.
was you?
Yeah, see, you was
Yeah.
about to blame me. I didn't take nothing
You
off.
said you were going to take it
I
off.
said I was. I didn't do it though.
Why you do it then?
I think Steph beat me to it.
See, this is the
But
plot
any-
of the plan.
so-
I'm
so
the
the-
black sheep, bro.
So the choices were Safaree,
Yeah, the baby
Dababy,
and T.I.
and T.I.
Yeah.
I should have put Boosie.
You should have. I was about to say, where Boosie at?
No,
I
because
was
at
like-
that point, I don't think he said nothing. I think it was only just T.I. at the point.
Okay.
So those were the three,
Yeah.
and the nation picked
The nation picked Safaree.
Safaree.
Why did the nation pick Safaree, Steph? Done that?
Because most of our supporters are women, and
Mm-hmm.
Safaree is doing Erica Mena bad in these streets.
Is he doing
The
him
way
bad
he
too?
the way he responded to her being pregnant again,
Mm-hmm.
and you knew I didn't want no kids, no more kids,
Nigga, stop piping.
Come on.
as if she got herself pregnant. And what else did he do? Oh yeah, the baby falling on the ground and he laughing.
That's not his fault.
That is his fault.
It's hilarious.
His
Dog,
baby literally
the reaction.
fell
She's saying
on
the
the
Oh,
reaction.
not the baby. A baby.
Our baby. Yeah. Too many babies. Too many babies.
his baby.
Like, go ahead and laugh at the baby. They ain't laughing at it anyway. Laugh at that.
No, let
That's
me
how
be
the
clear. His baby fell on
Okay.
the ground and he just was like and laughing and she like picked the baby
Well, hold on. No, she didn't. He
Horrible.
didn't. The baby didn't fall. A guitar fell on top,
on top
of the baby.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
That's not.
She
funny,
was sitting
dog.
right next to him.
That's not funny.
She was sitting right next
We're
to the baby.
saying his reaction.
Bro, I would have laughed
and then
too.
I think he
On
made
your
it.
baby?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
have laughed at my baby.
How young we talking?
One.
Come
Yeah.
on,
I still would've
Yeah, he
laughed.
tripping.
Cold-blooded.
I would have walked over and picked him up like, God
I
damn that.
was about to say
That's different. That's
You see all
different,
these
though.
guitars
That's
in here?
different.
You
That's
see all these
I
different.
would have
fucking
laughed
kids
too though.
I would
I would have laughed after
After
checking.
making sure
These
that
niggas-
they was okay.
These niggas were
Yes.
on there like this with their capes on talking about, I can't believe
I
he
would've
laughed.
been
Nigga,
weak.
that shit
Because
was
a
hilarious.
1-year-old having a guitar fall on them and crying,
Hilarious.
I'm not. My first reaction is not laughing and
No.
spinning around in your chair.
No.
Did he spin around in the chair?
Yes.
Right off the bat?
I don't.
Yes,
I
right
don't
off the
remember.
bat.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
spinning
And
around in
then
the
she
chair.
was like, "Why are you late?" He's like, "Cause I told her not to be over there." Like, bruh,
The-
is
but
she,
you told
is
the
she
1-year-old?
okay?
The 1-year-old.
Told the
Bruh.
1-year-old not to be over there.
The
well,
1-year-old.
but look,
No,
fam,
he told
I'm the-
Erica
I'm
not
the-
to have the baby.
Look,
Oh, okay.
I'm the baby, right? And you're the mom. This is how close they were. The Safaree was where photo B is. The mom should have been like, "No, baby, don't fucking play with that guitar."
She wasn't paying
Yeah.
attention. She was too busy worried about
But that's
recording
not
the
the
Love and
topic at
Hip Hop
hand, though, right?
episode.
That's what the topic at hand is, him laughing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
See, y'all tying in what she should have done.
Okay, but first-
and
First of all, because
still hilarious.
he was laughing, but she got her ass up and picked that
Pick
guitar,
the guitar up
before
first.
She
She
picked
didn't
up
pick
her
up the
baby.
baby
And that's wrong too. Nobody's
That's what
saying
I'm
that
saying.
she's not
That's what I'm
wrong.
saying. That's why I didn't understand why that.
Drag 'em both.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, time out. That was gonna be the second part of it because if you're trashing Safaree for what they're doing, nigga, you gotta equally trash her.
But it's the combination.
Nah, because
It's
he's
the
done more
combination.
than just that
I
one
think
clip.
the real
But
reason why he
we're
gets
talking about
trash
the
as
clip,
fuck
though.
is because he put a diss record out against his BM. But that's not the bad part for me. The bad part for me is it was trash. The whole song was ass.
Who was his baby mom again?
Erica
Mena.
Mena.
Okay.
I mean, I understand that, she's got a history in the past and she's been passed around like, hot potato. But
you
you settled up with her.
You married her.
You married her.
And if you didn't want more kids, then you should have made sure you.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing.
What's
Remember
wrong
before
with this
he
nigga?
came,
Why do rappers do that? Why
But
do
he- but
rappers
he
have
came
sex with the
out-
same 6 girls?
but he came out on Twitter and remember when he was saying getting married was the worst decision of his life.
Bruh, why are
I'm
you
saying,
telling
it's-
us, nigga?
it's
You
a
bet-
combination.
That's a
It's a
decision
combination.
between you and God, nigga. You and God need to have that
He
talk,
trash.
bruh.
Trash.
Not all of us.
So that's who the nation picked. Was
So
Safaree, for all those reasons.
Yeah,
Who do y'all
I'm
pick?
gonna pick Safaree and Erica together. And for my personal trash fuck, I picked another couple. I picked Brittany Renner and PJ Washington because both you motherfuckers is trash. I can't just say that Brittany is trash by herself because
I can.
No, why, nigga? You're
Because he's a kid.
he is a kid, but he's old enough to know if you smash without a condom, you're gonna get a baby. Who doesn't fucking know that?
So he got her pregnant and what?
So he got her pregnant. So she got pregnant. They're saying the stories are saying that she preyed on him when he was in Kentucky, and she went to the basketball games. She is a pass around.
She did.
She is a pass around, like Erica, like a lot of people who are famous have smashed. So that's why I can't get him off the hook. I can't let him go because she has history of being that. Right?
I didn't say that he didn't make that he shouldn't be accountable. He didn't make a mistake, but I'm
He-
saying he's not trash.
I think, yeah, okay, fine. But I'm still giving him trash as fuck.
That's
anyway.
fine. You can, this is your segment. I'm just at 18.
But I feel so. She's older, and she was actually preying on him at the Kentucky game. She courted him, got him into a relationship. He made it to he now plays for the Hornets. He now plays for the Hornets, and she got pregnant, and they separated. So his payments are allegedly going to be $250,000 a month. Is what I was reading on Boss Up.
Tax free.
Tax free.
200,000.
250K. That's okay.
Oh, 250.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was 200.
Tax
Damn.
free.
Yeah.
So that's $3 million a year.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you don't use protection, and that's why I have to
That's
give him.
child support.
Child support. That made him sick. Look at his face.
It made anybody
It
sick.
made me sick too.
Imagine how he feel.
Yeah. So he feels like, and I'm giving her trash as fuck because she absolutely did use him. 100%. She 100%. She coached him up. You know what I'm saying? She put him in position to have his baby. She made him feel like she was in love. And then as soon as she got pregnant, she dipped. He came back and he was like, "You used me. You used me to have a baby. You made me feel like I was in love. Yada yada this." And absolutely trash. It is amazing to me how many times this happens to athletes. This is why he has to.
And especially with the woman that has a book out about her previous affairs.
It's called Judge This Cover, right? Yeah. So she does. She has a whole book about how she played other niggas.
Well, her relationship with other famous men.
Yes, she has a tell-all.
And this is why Colin
Message.
Kaepernick made her pay for her own plane ticket.
Facts. Because
I remember
yes,
that.
he did. He made her pay. But this is why I can't let him off the hook, nigga. This information is public.
No, yeah, I'm not saying that he has to be accountable. I
Yeah,
don't think
so
he's trash.
He's trash for. I think he's trash for going online and trying to publicly embarrass her and humiliate her. And you already knew what the play was. You knew what the score was. Nigga, take accountability. And like we want the same shit with everybody. Safaree and Erica to go handle your business silently. Safaree. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying. But she's absolutely trash. So, you know, I just
niggas gotta learn. Stay away.
Nigga, please. Why do we? Why?
Read a book.
Why are niggas
Read
read her book? Literally, why? I don't understand with all the gorgeous women in the world. Why are y'all smashing the same 22 chicks?
Because they're always around.
Because they're in public.
So
They're in the public
what?
And you see him often.
So
you feel like if she picks me, then I'm special.
No,
It was a rapper that came out and explained why they do that.
Moneybagg Yo got a poppin' ass chick. Moneybagg Yo has a poppin' ass.
We
chick.
gotta realize
Future
that
got a girlfriend
dating
right now.
certain women like that
It's
do
clout.
put you in a different,
it's clout.
But
different
they
arena.
said it's clout, and he also said that you just be wanting to see what the hype is.
Yep, that's true.
Not Raj.
That's what he
Not
said.
Raj.
I've definitely heard those conversations
Not Raj.
because people feel like that they left. They was like, well, damn, like nigga, if you got it, then I want to see what's going on.
Nah, I don't. I ain't never been. That's crazy.
Sound like Community.
That's weird.
It do.
That's weird. That's weird. Hey, nigga, you smash? You done? I'm on
But
my
that's
way.
how those industry niggas do. That's how athletes do. It's the same chicks.
For what? There's a billion chicks, bro. If you're just gonna,
Let's get one on the show and we'll ask.
Because a lot of
because I got a lot of
We'll ask
NFL friends. I got a lot of NFL NBA friends. We could set that up.
Bring them on the show.
All right.
Also, I feel like it's a competition thing. It's like, look, if she fucks with him, she gonna fuck with me.
Nigga,
Yo, hey, you know what? No, Photo B's right. Niggas gotta stop that.
That's so-
Oh, they couldn't contain her. I bet you I could.
no, you can't. You're container until she contains
And now
all
you
your
250,000
a month.
in the month
A month
for 18 years.
What'd
That's
you
what
say?
you
It was
get.
3 M's.
And it's gonna go up if he plays well and if
You
he
know
signs
what's
a new
crazy?
contract.
All you had to do was buy XRP, baby. You'll be all right.
Nigga need to buy not XRP.
He needs to buy.
Magnum X.
Magnum XL.
God,
Right.
dang,
Because
man.
that's an XL.
Just think about that.
That's an XL child
How
support.
much? How much is a pack of condoms? Maybe
Like
like
they said, it's like $8 now.
like $8.99.
Yeah.
Nigga, $8.99 would have saved
Well, let's
you.
ask Photo B. How much? a condom?
$8.99 would have saved you $3 million a year.
But that was his chick. That was his chick. He thought they were gonna be married and shit.
I don't care if
I'm
it's your
worried
chick
that
or
you
not.
didn't answer.
Oh yeah. Photo B.
I get the big pack, so about like 18.
I'm
Not the big
concerned.
pack. I think it was like the medium. The
Do you
medium pack.
use them is the question.
I'm
Yes.
concerned.
Bro,
Why
I
would I buy
thought you
some if I
was
don't
getting
use
your lifestyles from the clinic.
The lifestyle.
Lifestyles.
Nigga, lifestyle. That's
Magnum
asking
Bear
to have a
skins.
baby.
Huh?
Light skin. I said light skin.
He said, "Nigga, what is the light skin condoms? Lifestyles. That's the condoms for light skins."
You had it
Magnum
right.
Bear
Shit,
skins.
Steph said you had it right.
That was the condom. That was the ones that you got when you first started out. All bad.
Remember the Rough Riders? The Rough Rider condoms came out.
I remember lifestyle. I don't know about no.
Hey, what was the ones that was like that was like hella thin out and shit? Like they came out like look instead of like being in a circle, they was they packed them up like this. Y'all remember those?
Nah, nigga, no.
It was weird.
I only you ever use name brand condoms.
I know what I'm saying. Okay, exactly.
I only ever use name brand condoms.
It's time to go.
All right, yeah, it's time to go, man. We want to thank.
He said lifestyle, the light skin condom. Nigga, that's a whole ad, bro.
I got
whole commercial ad.
I got lifestyle and bear skin mixed in somehow it came out as light skin.
He's like
My bad.
life skin.
light skin. Get the light skin one.
Don't-
And then
don't-
step ass go. He wasn't lying.
It's the one that finishes first.
Don't let Safaree talk about you and your little mess up.
Hey, you know somebody out there named Safaree.
I do know somebody named Safaree.
You know somebody named Safaree?
I hate that name.
I've never
Safaree.
don't ever want to hear that name.
And every
ever
other
again.
merge of a name that you put together.
All right, man. So we want to thank Henny, man, for coming on the show, man. Another round of applause.
That was fun, man. Thank
Kick
you.
it, man. This was a good episode. So for those that that are listening towards the end of the episode, please go back and listen to the beginning. We want to definitely check out the new album, Nostalgic. It is dope.
Thank you.
From beginning to end, I did not skip a track. Did not skip a track. And check out Top Shelf Radio every Sunday from 9 to 11. We'll be on there one day. One day.
We're going to set that up.
We're going to set that up.
Yeah.
All right,
It's gonna
so
be fun.
Yeah, I want to be in there. I want to play all our records.
that'll be dope.
dope.
So we want to thank everybody again for the support, for the love. And please, hopefully y'all learned something today. I think we had dope conversation.
Hell yeah.
And we will see y'all in about 2 weeks, and we are out.
Peace out.
Let's go. If you just let